by clicking on the blue button today at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Wisconsin's Midday News with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty, making stories come to life.
When I called him yesterday, I said, do you have 5 minutes? He goes, well, yes and no. He said, I'm out on the water right now. I said, ooh, are you looking for another shipwreck? And he said, I am. And I said, where are you? And he said, but if I told you, then everybody would know. Others would want to know. I'm like, well, I'm not coming out to find the shipwreck right now.
Catch up anytime with our Wisconsin's Midday News podcast. Powered by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more.
Traffic is sponsored by Richlands Tire and Service Center.
Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
The best team in baseball taking on the defending champs.
And the Brewers have a date with the Dodgers. Uribe deals to Carson Kelly, swinging a bouncer to short. Ortiz has it, and the Brewers are going to the championship series.
The Brewers host the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLCS. Our radio network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3:01. I'm Adam Robertson for John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's afternoon news for Monday, October 13th. Your top story, an overnight shootout and chase in West Dallas.
And I'm Toya Washington in for Julia Fellow. All the living hostages released.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We've got some delays along southbound 41, pretty much from Main Street all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound's backed up from Mayfair Road up to Capitol as well. Southbound 43 also slowing down just south of Brown Deer Road, down past Bender, and then back on the brakes from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down to the Marquette. Westbound 94, you're seeing delays from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is backing up from about Hawley Road to about 27th as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Going to be a partly cloudy one tonight for Game 1 from American Family Field. Roof will be closed. Partly cloudy with a chance for rain on your Tuesday and a high of 64. Right now, clouds and 61 in downtown Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, no one hurt, but a police chase and shootout rolls through a Milwaukee suburb overnight.
West Dallas police tried to pull over an SUV around 1 a.m. Monday near 70th and Greenfield, but the car took off. During the chase, a passenger in the fleeing SUV fired around 20 gunshots at West Dallas police, and officers returned gunfire. Stop sticks were used to disable the vehicle as the pursuit ended in Wauwatosa. Police say a 26-year-old woman from West Dallas and a 20-year-old man from Oak Creek were arrested. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A woman is dead and her daughter is accused of beating her mother in the head with a rock. According to the medical examiner, 64-year-old Carrie Zettel died of blunt force trauma. Now, this attack happened Sunday afternoon near 23rd and Ramsey on the city's south side. Police arrested Zettel's 29-year-old daughter and charges are pending.
A former student at a school for special needs students in Torrance, California, accused of stabbing multiple staff members at the school.
As the school day was beginning at Switzer Learning Center in Torrance, police say a former student at the special needs school arrived and stabbed 3 staff members and tried to stab a 4th before getting away. 2 of the staff members were rushed to a hospital critically injured, but police say the injuries are not life-threatening. The 3rd victim was treated on scene and had minor injuries. The former student who allegedly stabbed them was quickly arrested. The alleged stabber making statements about having pipe bombs in the area, according to police. They called in the bomb squad to inspect the suspect's backpack. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
It's day 13 of the government shutdown with neither chamber of Congress in session today. The House will not be on Capitol Hill this week. The Senate is slated to return tomorrow night, but lawmakers in that chamber have remained firm in their positions. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns has more on House plans.
They haven't voted since the end of September, and the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, is keeping them out of session until, he says, lawmakers agree to reopen the government. They have argued, the House Republicans have argued that they have done their work and that it's up to the Senate to pass this spending bill.
The vote has now failed 7 times.
A historic day in the Middle East. Hamas releasing all 20 remaining living Israeli hostages, and Israel releasing nearly 2,000 Palestinian prisoners. The exchange, part of a ceasefire plan Hamas agreed to last week. CBS's Samantha Vinograd on what now comes next.
Decades of negotiations have unfortunately failed to create a two-state solution, and the reason for that is the ability for Israel to agree to what Hamas wants and the Palestinian people and vice versa. But at the same time, one of the biggest outstanding issues has been the lack of an entity that is able to govern the Palestinian people in Gaza and the West Bank.
Now, President Trump with a major sphere of influence over the meetings today in Egypt. He is now back on his way to Washington. Coming up, a starter set for Game 1. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 3:05.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Hey, John Mercure here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. I know that, and I know I get it with Pella. They've worked in our house, and we trust them inherently. A lot of customers maybe have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home, but when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust Pella with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Gina Della leads an incredible team, whether it's in their showroom, which is incredible, the Experience Center in Brookfield, or whether it's when they're in your house, sitting down at the kitchen table or measuring up your stuff. Pella will get it done every single time, and the attention to detail they gave us, man, unbelievable. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month. You get 0% interest for up to 5 years. 0 for 5. Visit PellaWI.com today.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The NLCS begins tonight in Milwaukee with the Brewers facing the Dodgers. Milwaukee won all 6 of their regular season meetings.
I'm just proud as hell of those guys, and I don't underestimate them. You can't look on paper and say how many of our position players would be on the Dodgers team. You can't really project that many of them would, but somehow they find a way. And that's why I really admire our team.
Aaron Ashby will get the start for the Brewers. The Dodgers are starting former Cy Young award-winning left-hander Blake Snell. Coverage of tonight's game starts after the 6 o'clock news right here on WTMJ. First pitch, by the way, scheduled for 7:08. The Milwaukee Bucks are signing Alex Antetokounmpo to a 2-way contract, joining older brothers Giannis and Thanasis in the Bucks organization. The preseason continues for the Bucks Tuesday night at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 3:08.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like $2 off Nutrina Nature-Wise poultry feeds, $3 off for rewards members. Save $70 on a DeWalt 20-volt max drill and impact driver combo kit. And assorted Hillman nuts, bolts, and washers, just $2.49 per pound. Find value on the things you value right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Your neighbors are talking. Did you see their siding? Yikes. That drafty window? It's basically air conditioning. From nature. Don't be the scary house on the block this fall. Call Exterior Pros and Baths and get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project. No tricks, just treats. That's 262-800-4274 or click your way to extpros.com. Fall in love with your home again. Trust the pros.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Adam Roberts and Toya Washington.
Here we are, 3:10 on a Brewers Monday. Toya Washington in with me today. Hello, Toya.
Hello, I did not get the memo the last time I was here. Everybody was wearing Brewer stuff. So today I come in Brewer stuff, and you're nicely dressed with a button-up shirt and making me look like the schlep with a T-shirt on.
Hey, I'm wearing Brewers blue. And yeah, you are right. The last time it was just Brewers
Everywhere.
all over the place. And it's Brewers all over the city today. We got plenty of it. We have our resources out at American Family Field we'll be hearing from today. It's also a busy day overseas. We're on top of it all for you here.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Jump the gun on that one. While we're talking about overseas, let's talk about the ceasefire latest.
I think we're going to hold it up. I don't hold up the signature page, yeah.
Listening in there, Donald Trump talking overseas after the ceasefire was agreed and reached. And it's a big discussion right now. And for those who don't follow it as closely, and I mean, we're in news and it's changing every minute.
Absolutely. So you heard in the top of the hour news, hostages released, thousands of prisoners sent over from Israel to Gaza. ABC's Ian Pannell in Tel Aviv at Hostage Square. Phase 1 now through. Phase 2 of the ceasefire agreement could take a long time to completion.
In terms of phase 2, the demilitarization of Gaza, Hamas handing over its weapons, demobilizing. The reality on the ground at the moment is it is Hamas that is back in charge there. The reconstruction, clearly enormous. But I think there's still a bigger question about resolving the Palestinian issue, and that has not been addressed as of yet.
So on that matter, what now comes next? What is the historical significance in this region that has seen so much conflict over the years? We've got resources from ABC and CBS in the region. We'll be hearing from them throughout the day today.
All right, number 2 on the 3 at 3. I love this one. Spotify AI feature.
Oh boy.
I know. This is very fascinating to me
all.
because I struggled with this even way back in the day when I used to record stuff off the radio on my tape recorder. That's
Sure.
I'm dating myself here. Is how to figure out exactly the right mix. But you don't have to think about it now.
Not at all. Spotify, yeah, OpenAI, we have an agreement, and I know I'm one of those people that really gets freaked out about how much it's proliferating into our lives, but I know 30 years ago, VR was the thing that was proliferating, so just learn to deal with it. Well, OpenAI launching a way for you in ChatGPT, which no stranger to that, you can just, hey, create me a Spotify playlist, which you probably already could do anyway, but now it directly links you to Spotify through OpenAI and ChatGPT. So I, being the creative soul I am, wanted to create a playlist for the show. Our producer Isaac actually cued me in on this, and he is a musical mind, absolutely. So tell me what you think of some of these suggestions, Isaac. I wanted to break it down specifically by parts of the show. So for the open, the song you hear when you come in at the start, it recommends Home by Edward Sharpe and the Magnetic Zeros. Thoughts, Isaac?
Recently dubbed the worst song of all time by the internet.
Well, that's a great start. Traffic song, the bed that plays when we do the traffic report with Debbie. Songbird by Kenny G and or Wisconsin by Bon Iver.
You know, I can get on board with that. Some smooth jazz or some Bon Iver. I can get on board with that for sure.
Well, it also recommended Bon Iver for something in the weather forecast. I don't know how I feel about that one either. So still ironing out some of the kinks, but
So did you just plug in, like, suggest for me a song that would reflect this portion of the newscast?
And I specifically mentioned Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ, so it really got right down to the brass.
So in theory, like, I could go to ChatGPT and say, I like a mix of hip-hop, rap, and hard rock, and somehow it would
create a perfect playlist.
All right.
Supposedly.
Okay.
All right, number 3, what do we got?
All right. We're talking about it now. Brewers, Dodgers. We'll be talking about it all day, today, and tomorrow.
So I want to hear from all of you WTMJ fans on our talk and text line, 855-616-1620. That is the Siding Unlimited talk and text line. Who or what is your X factor for tonight? It's game 1, Brewers, Dodgers. We already know who's going to be starting. We got Aaron Ashby, Blake Snell. An interesting matchup, to say the least, given how Ashby's pitched over the postseason so far. But send them in. What's your X factor? 855-616-1620. We'll proliferate them throughout the show. Tonight, we've also got a lot of Brewers resources. We'll hear from Lane Grindle and Dominic Catronia, who are out at American Family Field. That's coming up throughout the show. But coming up next, we do want to switch back over to the big story of the day overseas, this ongoing ceasefire arrangement that's now being brokered and playing out between Israel and Hamas. ABC's Jordana Miller is in Jerusalem, and she joins us next. 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Visit them at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Flanners Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanners has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanners, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, or at flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Don't just get a ride, build a travel experience together with KB Excursions. Vince Vitrano here for this family-owned business. Custom designing travel for your major event or just a night out. Luxury motor coach service, or for smaller groups, the beautiful Mercedes Sprinter, leather seats, TV, whole setup, golf trip, wedding party, night on the town, ride to the ball game. And with personal service from Khalid, Amy, and the KB Excursions team, getting there will be half the fun. KBExcursions.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Kohler Services and Capital Heating and Cooling. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and weather first with Debbie Laziga. Deb, it is a Brewers game day. We're watching the roads around the ballpark. How are we looking right now?
Well, it's starting to slow down a little bit. 94 westbound, you've got delays basically from 25th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. The eastbound side, you got some backups from Mitchell Boulevard all the way to about 27th Street. So far, it's pretty typical stuff. Southbound on 41, we do have backups from Main Street all the way past Good Hope Road, back on the brakes from Appleton Avenue to Capitol. More delays then, heading through the Zoo Interchange all the way down to the Hale on the southbound bypass. The northbound side is slowing down from about Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. And then more delays, of course, southbound on 43 from just before Good Hope Road all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ forecast is brought to you by Sweet Talks Med Spa. Self-love starts at Sweet Talks. For tonight, Game 1 forecast was sprinkling a lot today, but it should be out of the way for tonight. Partly cloudy, low of 53. Still going to have a chance for some afternoon showers on your Tuesday. Wednesday, a high of 64 Tuesday, by the way. Rain on the early day Wednesday, high of 60. 64 Thursday, partly cloudy. Back up to 70 on the day on Friday.
What month is it? What month is it again?
It is the middle of October, Toya, and we are talking about 70 degrees.
Awesome.
Once again. Right now in Milwaukee, clouds and 61 at 319.
Signature page.
President Trump hoisting documents related to a ceasefire deal and hostage release between Israel and Hamas. It was agreed to earlier today in a speech to the Israeli parliament on a day when the country's living 20 hostages were released as part of a ceasefire agreement that the president brokered. He said, quote, "This is a historic dawn of a new Middle East." So what happens next? What didn't happen today? And what is the reaction from those in the region? We welcome in ABC's Jordana Miller. She joins us from Jerusalem. Welcome in, Jordana.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you. I have to say it's the end of a very long, of a kind of jubilant, really euphoric day here in Israel to see Hamas follow through and release 20 living hostages. Really has just lifted the country after such a long and destructive and deadly war. These 20 hostages, their families have been, along with the others, fighting for their release and the end of the war for so many months that to see them come out, everyone here, especially those of us in the media, know their stories so intimately. It's very moving to see, these reunions. Noah Argamani, that beautiful Israeli.
I think we lost Jordana there. She is in Jerusalem, so it's totally understandable. These connections can be tough. We'll work to see if we can get her back. But at Toya, we have the TV on here in our newsroom at the Annex Wealth Management Studios, and all day today on the Nationals.
This is what we've been watching.
It's been hugs. Yes. It's been cheers.
It gives you goosebumps to watch. And one of the pieces of video that we just got done seeing is you see a bus, rolling through a very large crowd of people, and people like holding up what appears to be perhaps like somebody's son, toddler age. And him holding that child from the bus, giving that baby kisses and handing that child back down. And it really does give you goosebumps.
I think we've got Jordana back here. So, Jordana, while we have you here, I am curious to know, as someone who's been so intimately involved with this story for as long as you have, we're hearing a lot about what did happen today, and we're seeing what happened today. What did not happen today, and more specifically, what still is to come as part of this agreement?
Well, first of all, Hamas did not follow through with returning the bodies of 24 Israeli hostages that they killed on October 7th or during the war. So that still has to happen. There'll be a joint task force set up to go in and help search for those bodies. And then what really lies ahead is phase 2 of this deal, which is going to be very complicated and tough because essentially the president and his regional partners have to set up a interim government for Gaza, a governing council. Who's going to sit on that? Who's not going to sit on that? Right? The Israelis don't want the Palestinian Authority there. They want it to be international. But others disagree with that, right? They have to set up as well a new security force, an international security force that can replace Hamas's police force, which is basically Hamas members. And when, who's training that, what countries are going to be contributing to those, to that force, when does it come in, and how does that coordinate with the next redeployment of Israeli troops, right? The Israelis are still sitting on about 40% of Gaza, and they need to move out back to the periphery. And then, there's big questions about how Hamas is going to disarm. What happens to the tunnels? Who's going to help blow those up? Who's going to even oversee Hamas's disarm? Who are they going to give their weapons to, right? And will they actually do that? I think it's a question mark still. And then finally, there has to be a lot of plans to invest to actually rebuild the Gaza Strip. It's much of it has been heavily damaged and parts of it utterly destroyed.
ABC's Jordana Miller with us from Jerusalem. Jordana, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're, of course, all on top of this here on WTMJ. As I mentioned before, we have other resources that are in the field. We're going to hear later today from CBS's Robert Berger. And Robert has been in the region for decades and has covered so many different Middle Eastern conflicts. I want to get some historical context from Robert, and he's going to provide that for us later on in the show. And rest assured, we will be on top of this throughout the day here on WTMJ. Let's check the markets now. It's time for your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. We're just about at the closing bell for the day, and it has been a good day on Wall Street. Everybody up and up pretty big. The NASDAQ with a more than 2% jump on the day, 490 points in the green. They're at 22,694. The Dow is up 587 points. That's nearly 1.3% at 4668. And the S&P 500 with a big gain as well, 1.5%, up 102 at 6,654. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. We've got your bottom of the hour news straight ahead. Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast, by the way, sponsored by our friends at Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit davedrakamp.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hassellus.
What makes Hassellus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery, and prices that are way too low?
Yeah, besides that.
Hassellus Mattress is locally owned and managed by the same family. So, your money stays right here. And through Monday, you'll get a $248 credit towards a new Beautyrest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at hassellus.com.
WTMJ and Sidex are back with the beautiful bathroom contest. One lucky listener going to win a tub or shower conversion valued up to $10,000. It's very easy to get involved. All you got to do, snap a pic of your scary shower, terrifying tub, or even one that you're just tired of, and you can enter right now. Text BOO, that's B-O-O, BOO, to the WTMJ Siding Unlimited talk and text line, 855-616-1620. You can also visit WTMJ.com to submit your picture and get all the contest rules.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools to help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Wisconsin Harley-Davidson's filling up your fall calendar. Join them Sunday, October 19th for the Freedom 150 ride, celebrating 150 years of Economawalk and the U.S. Paralympic Wheelchair Curling Team. The ride starts at the dealership with stops at Open Road and West Bend Harley-Davidson, ending at Rally Point for a concert. And don't miss the early Halloween celebration, Saturday, October 25th at Wisconsin Harley-Davidson. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and at WISHD.com. Wisconsin Harley-Davidson, your destination dealer.
It's Beatlemania. 1, 2, 3, 4. Experience the Fab Four as they perform music from their film Help, plus a set of their greatest hits live at Milwaukee's Pabst Theater on Friday, November 7th. Relive some of the greatest songs ever written.
Hey Jude, don't make it bad.
The Fab Four, the ultimate Beatles tribute, live at the Pabst Theater November 7th. Tickets at PabstTheaterGroup.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Merck here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. I love the Griffin Ford store. Griffin Ford, located at 1940 East Main Street in Waukesha, is your destination for your new pre-owned or certified pre-owned Ford. They've got great deals and great selections. This October, Griffin Ford has a spooky selection of over 300 new pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Check them out before they vanish. Griffin Ford has over 170 new Fords in stock. Whether you need a dependable Ford Transit for a work van or looking for some finishing projects around the house with a capable Ford Super Duty, or go tailgating at football games in America's best-selling pickup for 48 consecutive years, the Ford F-150, Griffin Ford has the vehicle that you're looking for. And the tire special is great. At Griffin Ford, for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires with free tire repair, lifetime tire rotation. Cannot be combined with any other tire offers. Tires must be mounted, balanced, and installed at Griffin Ford. See Service Advisor for details.
There are over 690,000 people whose lives are touched by the Wisconsin retirement system, which covers local police, firefighters, publicly employed teachers, and UWM system employees. Join Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for a special webinar. Understand your WR's potential on Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Retirement planning can be complex. What does your most recent statement mean for your plan? How will it work with the rest of your financial portfolio? Is there anything you're missing? No matter your age or retirement status, learn more as we walk through pension scenarios and answer WRS questions. The Annex Wealth Management financial planning team is experienced when it comes to the WRS pension and assists many clients as they move to and through retirement. Understand your WRS potential is Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. It's a complimentary webinar and is open to anyone. More information and registration at annexwealth.com/events. Annex Wealth Management is a fee-only fiduciary specializing in investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning. Know the difference. It starts at annexwealth.com.
Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which, by the way, is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:31. I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story: footage released of a police shooting in Milwaukee.
And I'm Toya Washington. Fired, then rehired hours later.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound 43, going to be kind of a heavy ride. You're starting to slow down just south of Brown Deer Road, down to Bender Road, back on the brakes from Silver Spring. Then you're really riding the brakes all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. So giving yourself extra time there would be a good idea. Westbound 94 is tightening up from 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, we got some delays from about 84th Street through the Stadium interchange as well. And some backups on the bypass from the zoo pretty much all the way down into the Hale interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy skies tonight, a low of 53. Chance for some afternoon rain on your Tuesday with a high of 64. Right now, got a cold front, looks like it's trying to push through. Not quite there yet, and it is dry and 62 in Milwaukee. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, police in Milwaukee releasing dash camera video of an officer-involved shooting, leaving one person dead Thursday near 49th and Mill on the city's north side. In the video just released moments ago from the off-duty officer's vehicle, you can hear the moment of impact when the officer and 26-year-old Elijah Wilkes were involved in a car accident, as well as the officer's response.
What are you doing?
After both drivers pulled over, got out to survey the damage, the other driver approached the off-duty officer, drawing his weapon and hitting him in the face. The officer then firing back and killing Wilkes. After seeing the footage, Wilkes' family did admit last week the officer's actions were justified.
A judge from South Milwaukee resigns after being charged with making false statements on election nomination papers. 40-year-old Kelly Martika faces one misdemeanor count of false swearing. Now, prosecutors say Martika ran for municipal judge in South Milwaukee while being a resident of Racine. They also say she falsely claimed that she personally circulated the documents to get the signatures required to run for office. Martika won the election back in April, but resigned in September. She pled not guilty last week to the charge. Now, if convicted, she does face up to 9 months in jail.
Around 700 workers for the CDC fired last Friday were then reinstated within a 14-hour window. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer.
A union representing federal employees said about 700 CDC workers got emails this weekend telling them they actually aren't fired and they can go ahead and head back to work. The American Federation of Government Employees confirmed that these workers were reinstated within 24 hours of being fired. The New York Times reports the workers were fired by mistake and sent incorrect notifications. The reported mistake firings happened as mass mass federal layoffs continue with the government still shut down.
Thousands of employees could still face layoffs across 7 federal agencies.
The number of measles cases continues to increase in the United States.
There were 16 measles outbreaks last year in the U.S. This year, there are already 44. The U.S. has already reported the most measles cases this year since 1992. This comes as MMR vaccination rates drop, and now at least 153 students at 2 schools in Spartanburg County, South Carolina, are under quarantine for 21 days. There are at least 8 measles cases and an outbreak there, and these students are not vaccinated. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Another case of bird flu crops up in Wisconsin, this time in Racine County. The Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection saying a backyard chicken flock tested positive. The birds were removed from the area to prevent the spread of the disease. In recent weeks, 2 cases of bird flu were reported in Jefferson County, leading to poultry-related events in that county, as well as Waukesha, Walworth, and Ruck to be suspended through the end of the year.
Milwaukee's Mitchell Park domes are known for their flora, but they're also known and home to fauna. Executive Director Krista Beal-Diefenbach tells WTMJ more animals are part of the dome's reimagined plan.
One of the things I haven't talked very much about publicly, one of the things we're going to do is have an insectarium. So there will be opportunities for kids to see different types of insects of the world and experience that piece of our ecosystem and understand why, insects are actually really important.
Beal-Diefenbach says new amenities are all part of a new business model as the domes look toward a post-restoration future.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The clock ticking down to Game 1 of the National League Championship Series at American Family Field. Brewers and Dodgers tonight. Battle of the Lefties. Brewers expected to start Aaron Ashby. Los Angeles going with Blake Snell tonight. Our first pitch set for 7:08 on the dot at American Family Field. Our coverage on WTMJ begins after the 6 o'clock news with Brewers warm-up. The Packers on the road. They are working this week ahead of their 3:25 kick against the Cardinals on Sunday. Packers 27-18 winners over the Bengals in Green Bay this weekend. And 7th-ranked Wisconsin volleyball picking up a 3-set win over Maryland. Badgers now 12-2 on the 2025 season. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:36.
Brewers fans, it's time to rally. Join us Thursday night for an NLCS Game 3 watch party. Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino and sponsored by Surfside. Catch every pitch, every swing, and every big moment with the Hometown Call. Broadcasting live inside the Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. Enjoy great food, cold drinks, and the electric energy of Brewers fans coming together as the crew fights for another postseason win. It all happens Thursday night at 5 o'clock. The Game 3 watch party. Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. 620 WTMJ, your home for Brewers baseball.
Drafty windows means wasted money. Call Siding Unlimited today for energy-efficient replacement windows and doors and start saving now. For a free estimate and honest price guarantee, go to sidingunlimited.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's afternoon news. Adam Roberts filling in for John Mercure alongside Toya Washington here in the studio today. Following up on a story we first reported on last week.
I just want to thank Dr. Mossler, the surgeon. She saved my life, so I'm grateful for that. Sorry I can't answer all your questions.
Are you feeling any better?
Thank you, guys. I'm recovering slowly, man. Appreciate it.
It's a long process.
That is audio from Fox 59 in Indianapolis. Mark Sanchez walking out of the hospital after being treated following the incident with a truck driver last week that led to him being stabbed, then walked from the hospital into a truck and off into custody. We're going to bring in Telly Hughes, who is on top of this last week. And Telly, as someone I know who's following this story very closely, what do we know now?
What do we know now that this story is far from over and is still developing based on the seriousness of the injuries to the victim in this instance? And this story really caught my eye because rarely do you get stabbed and arrested. And so once I started to dig into it and realize that 38-year-old former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez was the aggressor against a 69-year-old truck driver, then it really piqued my interest. And so after spending the past week in the hospital, we just heard the audio, he was released from the hospital. He had to go straight to the Marion County Jail, and he was booked, then released. And now he's set with a court date. And so clearly he couldn't say too much more about it because all of the evidence in this investigation so far points towards him being intoxicated and being the aggressor. And now that has resulted in the victim not only suing Sanchez, but suing Fox Sports Corporation or Fox Corporation, his employer. So again, this story is far from over as the victim continues to recover from his injuries as well. Now, Mark Sanchez talked about him being injured, but he never mentioned anything about the victim again being having to recover from his injuries as well.
And can you tell me, Tully? I mean, I've followed this story kind of in the shadows and not really super closely. But as far as the evidence and what we're learning about this exchange, is that the best way to put it? While everything is working through the court processes and through legal, I guess, have we heard of any? Is there video of this taking place? Is there video of the exchange with officers taking place? Is there something that kind of have we seen this and I just missed it?
No, Toya, and that is a good question. Video has been reviewed, but it has not been released. And from several angles, that was the reason why they were able to upgrade one of the charges. He was originally charged with 3 misdemeanors. Now he's charged with a felony as well as 4 other misdemeanors. And the one that was upgraded, 3 other ones. He's 4 charges altogether, 3 misdemeanors, 1 felony. And the one that's a felony is battery resulting in serious bodily injury. And there were some pictures that were released of the victim. He had a slash on his cheek, and the slash, on the picture, it didn't do it as much justice as if you read what else he has had to endure. So the knife actually penetrated his jaw to the point where it reached his tongue. And so it's been hard for him to communicate. I'm sure it's been tough for him to eat anything, and he's been unable to attend his son's wedding because of these injuries that he's recovering from. But going back to the video, they went and collected his clothes as well as his cell phone. So I think if that's the case, that video is going to tell us a lot about what happened. And everything that happened, Mark Sanchez says he doesn't remember any of it at all.
We've got a lot of things to clean up after this incident.
Absolutely. And Telly, what's also interesting was that Bobby T, who is the mother of Sanchez's 8-year-old child, she was on Instagram sharing her side. And the thing that stood out to me was her saying, sadly, none of this is surprising to me. And you don't want to pry too much into people's personal lives as things still unfold, but it really does seem like this is not boding well in the court of public opinion anyway for the former NFL quarterback.
No, not at all. And that is one of the unfortunate things that come along with a public job. Your private life is no longer private. And when you do have something that comes out like this doesn't seem like now it opens that bag where it doesn't seem like this is an isolated incident. And this may be something that, there have been things that have led up to this, and we don't know because clearly there is some level of intoxication. So we don't know if that is alcohol or drugs or a combination of both. And if he has a history with that, and again, it just never reached a level that it reached this time. And so for her to come out and say that, it says a lot. but it also opens up the door for people to dig up more of what's going on. And so it is unfortunate. And if this is a mistake that Mark Sanchez simply made, it's a big one. But by all indications, this isn't something that is totally out of the ordinary as of now.
All right, real quick, Telly, before we let you go, Brewers-Dodgers tonight, we were asking the talk and text line for X factors. What is the X factor tonight? We've gotten William Contreras and leadership from the 414, also from the 414, crazy enthusiastic Brewers fans, which I don't doubt at all. This is not going to be a Wrigley North situation tonight. Quickly, Telly, give me the X factor in your eyes.
Oh, I can make this real quick. Starting pitching and early runs. That's it. The Brewers can get some early runs, continue to keep that crowd energized for every pitch. And my X factor will be Quinn Priester. I don't know if he's starting tonight, but someone that had a not so good first outing in the postseason, Pat Murphy said he will need him. And even if he doesn't start, that doesn't mean that he can't come out of the bullpen and give them some quality innings. So that's my X factor.
It'll be an Aaron Ashby start tonight for the Brewers, but Telly Hughes, always appreciate your insight. Let's get game one through the gates, then game two, and then guaranteed no matter what, we'll bring it back to Milwaukee if all hell breaks loose in L.A. Thanks, Telly.
Right, no problem.
Thank you.
It's 3:46 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Coming up, the budget process is still playing out throughout the city of Milwaukee, and that includes at City Hall. We're going to get some insight from someone who is there, boots on the ground, hearing the process play out, what could be included, what could be eliminated. We'll dive into it coming up on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. It's 3:46.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
We see you out there doing things your way. So why shop the same retail giants as everyone else when you can find the same trusted products at unbeatable farm and fleet prices? Like a 26-piece Performance Tool color-coded screwdriver set, half price, now $24.99. 2.5-gallon boxes of Clean Def, just $7.99. And 8 packs of Energizer AA or AAA batteries, your choice, $8.99. Find value on the things you value, right here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Hey, John Mercure here from my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating. They know our climate is all over the place. This means your home comfort system gets quite the workout. Constant adjustments need to be made to adapt to our volatile weather. Wisconsin prepares you to be ready for anything because anything happens. Fear not, because for over 42 years, my friends at Dave Drake Camp Heating have lived here too, right by your side, ready and prepared for when anything happens. Spring, summer, fall, winter, even when they all seem to happen within the same week. Whether you're experiencing your next home comfort dilemma now or will be soon, call Dave Drake Camp Heating. For free estimates on new equipment, routine maintenance, or just to ensure your system is ready for anything, or maybe because you have a simple question about your home comfort, call Dave Drake Camp today. 262-367-2820. That's 262-367-2820. Dave Drake Camp Heating, your comfort is their family's tradition. DaveDrakeCamp.com.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you a free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns. The best team in baseball taking on the defending champs.
And the Brewers have a date with the Dodgers. Uribe deals to Carson Kelly, swinging a bouncer to short. Ortiz has it, and the Brewers are going to the championship series.
The Brewers host the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLCS. Our radio network game day cover starts tonight at 6:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
I'm Libby Collins. This week on WTMJ Conversations, we talk with composer and music producer Mark Van Hecke about his experiences
with the Violent Femmes and producing Blister in the Sun in his back bedroom.
They were performing and walking amongst the tables while playing, and I thought, this is theater.
WTMJ Conversations, Sunday mornings at 11 on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
Coming up on 3:50 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News, it's time for traffic and weather. Debbie Loziga helps get you home. How are we looking, Deb?
Well, you've got delays along eastbound 94 from about Barker Road to Brookfield Road, then back on the brakes just before 84th Street to Hawley Road, and again coming out of the Stadium Interchange. The westbound side is backing up from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43, a heavy ride from Good Hope Road all the way down past Bender Road, back on the brakes from Silver Spring, pretty much all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Southbound 41, very heavy ride coming in from Main Street all the way to Good Hope Road, back on the brakes just before Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Another quick spot of heavy traffic right past Burleigh. Northbound slow from Mayfair Road up to Capitol. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast for your Game 1 tonight. Good news is it should stay dry, Toya. I mean, the roof's going to be closed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if you are out tailgating, you should not have to worry about any sort of rain. It is going to be 53. That's not too bad for October.
No, I mean, if you tailgate outside of Lambeau, I mean, right? You could get it together outside of American Family Field for
100%.
A few hours, right?
Absolutely.
All
So
right.
53 for the low tonight with some clouds. Coming up for your Tuesday, then, we're going to have a high, looks like about 64. Going to be a chance for some afternoon rain. More of the same for your Thursday, Friday, and then into Saturday. I mentioned it before. 70 degrees.
Again,
a reminder,
it is October, mid-October.
October 17th. Absolutely crazy. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, we are looking at 63 degrees and clouds at 351. Wisconsin's Afternoon News. We have a full slate of show for you today. Of course, it is Brewers-Dodgers Game 1. Coming up in our next hour, we're going to check in with some of our people, boots on the ground or boots in the booth, as it were. Lane Grindle from the Brewers Radio Network is going to be in with us around 4:35. Dom Catronio, you hear him on Brewers Warm-Up and Brewers Extra Innings. He'll be in later on in the show as well. But we are joined in studio. It is our monthly check-in with the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County. Jennifer Smaja is in with us today, and we've also got a special guest with us. Jennifer, who'd you bring?
I brought along Sylvie the kitten.
Oh, hello, Sylvie.
Yeah, she's a 4-month-old short-haired tortie.
So if you text WATCH right now to 855-616-1620, you'll see Sylvie the tortie. How old did you say Sylvie was?
4 months.
4 months old. And already has the desire to get up and moving around.
Yeah, one thing we're doing these days is we're encouraging adopting 2 kittens as opposed to just 1. They do like being adopted in pairs. And you will be glad you adopted 2 because they keep each other company and they're actually less work than if you have just 1.
Yeah. She, right?
Yes.
She seems very chill for a 4-month-old cat at this point.
She is, yeah. She spent most of the afternoon just kind of staring at me like, when are we going? When are we going? When are we going? When are we going?
So let's learn a little bit about Sylvie. I know especially with kittens, it can sometimes be hard to tab a personality on them right away. But from what we know about Sylvie so far, who would be a good fit for someone like this?
Sylvie, being younger, is going to need some energy, taking a little bit of energy excess. Again, why we say adopt 2 instead of 1, because they will play together. The tortie coloring kind of has a reputation, whether it's deserved or not. I do not know. I have not owned one myself, but they can be kind of divas.
I think that's most cats, is it not?
Yeah, well, most cats are kind of, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't use diva for like an orange tabby, but yeah, a lot of cats can be that way. But for whatever reason, people who own torties have said that they definitely rule the household.
Okay.
They are in charge. So be ready for that. Even if she's being really chill as a kitten, she may be a little bit more demanding once she becomes an adult.
Come into her own as the queen of the household, right?
Exactly, right.
And then, can you give us kind of an update of what does the shelter look like now? What are we seeing an abundance of? What kind of help is needed? What needs adoption, and in rapid succession here? We'll say that.
For the last month, we have been concentrating on adopting out cats because we have had a plethora of both adult cats and kittens. We've had a 50% off adult cats adoption special going on for quite some time, and that is still going on. We also have a BOGO going on with kittens, again, to encourage 2 rather than 1. So we are looking at getting some cats out. Right now, it's kind of strange that we have as many kittens as we do. Typically, this time of year, we don't see them as much anymore, but these days, you just never know. So we do have lots of cats and kittens. We also have plenty of dogs, though, and we've got a really interesting mix of breeds and sizes and coats and that kind of thing. So now's a good time to come and check out what we've got. If you're into smaller animals, we have a handful of rabbits that are available. We've got a couple of gerbils and mice. We have a snake. We have a turtle.
Okay.
Just all sorts of different things. So, now's a really good time to come on over and see what we've got. We probably have something for you, and if we don't have it today, we'll probably have it tomorrow.
All right. Do you give the same warning? Because I know around Easter, everybody wants to buy like a little baby chick, or they want to buy a bunny, or they want to. And now that we're coming up on Halloween, is that one that you kind of? I mean, I know at one point, I can't remember, years ago, there was a humane society that was out of state that they basically put a pause and a hold on all black cats for like 2 months.
We did that way back when I started at Haas. We did that as well. We actually only did it a couple of weeks around Halloween. We found that it really didn't make a difference either way. That one problem that, for whatever reason, black animals, both cats and dogs, last at shelters longer, and we don't know why. There's this actual thing called the black pet syndrome. So a lot of times we are doing whatever we can to promote the adoption of black animals. It's just a strange thing that maybe they don't appear as fluffy or cute as what. Who knows? I don't know. We don't really worry about the Halloween thing anymore. Fortunately, it seems like people have gotten away from
impulse buying based around the holidays.
Exactly. We're just kind of, let's just kind of take every situation as it comes. We're not going to straight across the board say, no, we're not going to do any of this. It's more of a, let's see who's coming in to adopt, what's their situation. And we do that with every adoption. So we're feeling very comfortable these days that we are doing the best we can to make sure the animals are put in the best situation they possibly can be in.
I really want her to
just let her go.
Yes, just let her go. See what she does.
Let it rip.
She'll probably walk all over the soundboard and then cut us off the air.
She's going to go over and do the sports update.
Okay, well, there you go. Look at her.
Maybe she's a sports girl.
Jennifer Samaja with the Humane Animal Welfare Society of Waukesha County. Welcome back in. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's 3:57 on WTMJ News coming up.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at this newly renovated Milwaukee icon. Enjoy fine dining at acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Well Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. There's always a reason to celebrate with the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
We're still rolling out the fun at Fleet Farm's Oktoberfest. Stop in for a free brat Saturday the 18th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. While you're there, be sure to enter our Candy Corn Count Contest for a chance to win a Fleet Farm gift card. Plus, don't miss our Truckload Super Sale, happening October 16th through the 19th. We've got crazy good deals in-store only, so bring your own truck and load up. Come on in for October festivities all month long at Fleet Farm. And thanks for shopping with us.
Brian Sternad, he's one of us.
You want to vote for a governor. You do have many to choose from who have elected experience. Or you can choose the one of us candidate. Hi, I'm Ryan Sternad, and you pronounce my last name like you are stirring a pot. In fact, I sometimes do. I'm a U.S. Army veteran who works for a living. I may have even served you at the stadium. I started drinks in the seats. Sure, I don't have elected experience, but I do have working class experience. Won't you want your governor to know what it's like to be in your shoes and to govern that way? I stick up for people who want to make money. And I was vocal in getting in-seat alcohol vending back when the crowd capacity returned to practically 100% in 2021. As governor, I'll fight to tax the wealthy. That's one of the reasons I became a Democrat 24 years ago. For more, go to RyanSternadForGovernor.com.
Paid for by Ryan Sternad for Governor.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here for Guthrie and Fry. I love Guthrie and Fry. I've got their water softener, the salt delivered right to the basement. Their RO system, which filters the water in our house. What we drink, what we cook with is crisp, clean, clear. It's Guthrie and Fry water conditionings, the best in the business. They also provide well pump system service, routine service, and emergency service for when you need it. They've been doing that since 1974. At Guthrie and Fry, they know that better water makes a big difference. The teams I trust are at Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Family owned, family operated, family priced. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanders Home Entertainment, Flanders.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanders Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanders, just press play.
The best team in baseball taking on the defending champs.
And the Brewers have a date with the Dodgers. Uribe deals to Carson Kelly, swinging a bouncer to short. Ortiz has it, and the Brewers are going to the championship series.
The Brewers host the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLCS. Our radio network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. It's Monday, October 13th. Your top story, living hostages released in Gaza.
And I'm Toya Washington in for Julia Fellow today, encouraging students to apply for financial aid early.
I'm Debbie Laziga, southbound on 43, backing up from just before Silver Spring, pretty much solid all the way through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. Northbound's just got a couple of pockets right around the North Avenue curve up towards Locust. The westbound side of 94 slowing down just west of 27th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got some backups coming out of the Barker Road area. And again, back on the brakes from 84th Street to Hawley Road and the Stadium to about 27th Street. Northbound 41, watch for delays from Mayfair all the way up to Capitol. Southbound is going to be slow from Brown Deer Road down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy for your Game 1 forecast tonight, a low of 53. Chance for some afternoon showers on Tuesday with a high of 64. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, President Trump making his way back from the Middle East, spending the day giving speeches related to the ceasefire deal and hostage release between Israel and Hamas. All 20 living hostages have been released from Gaza as fighting has stopped for now in the region. ABC's Karen Travers.
The relationships that the president has with those wealthy Gulf countries are very much a part of this. The president made that trip to the Middle East back in May, where he visited Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, and clearly has very strong ties with the leaders of those countries. And he has referenced what they will need to do now. He has talked about the wealth in that region and how that will be very important in the rebuilding of Gaza.
Issues still on the table include the demilitarization of Hamas and also who will govern Gaza.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky saying he would meet President Trump in Washington on Friday, where the two would discuss Ukraine's ongoing war with Russia. President Zelensky has been lobbying Washington to supply U.S.-produced Tomahawk missiles, which Ukrainians say would be used only on military targets.
The main topic is air defense. And also, I will have a meeting with energy companies.
Moscow has said such a move would represent a serious escalation.
Here at home, a man has been identified who was shot and killed on Milwaukee's near North Side. Medical examiner identifying 33-year-old LaShawn Kristen Jr. was shot while talking on his phone in the alley behind his home near Clark and Velar Phillips Sunday afternoon. Police still searching for an unknown suspect.
Milwaukee Public Schools is making a major push to help seniors secure money for college. Washington High School educators joined local leaders to launch the new FAFSA season, encouraging students to complete their applications early. Now, FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Keith Neely Jr. is a Washington High graduate and UW-Milwaukee student, and he tells WTMJ how FAFSA helped him.
FAFSA was really like the foundation of what started my involvement in programs, dual enrollment, student council, everything going forward. And mainly, it really helped me pay for tuition and showed me that there was other ways to survive when it comes to handling the load of tuition, really, and the finance involved.
Neely encourages upcoming students to apply as soon as possible.
Never too early to start thinking about Summerfest. 2026 edition of The Big Gig will feature an 18-time Grammy Award nominee.
Post Malone will be a headliner next year on Milwaukee's lakefront during the second weekend of the festival on June 27th. With a mix of music including hip-hop, pop, and country, Malone is among the best-selling artists worldwide. He currently holds the record for the most Diamond-certified songs with 9. Tickets for the show go on sale this Friday. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A friendly wager on the Brewers-Cubs series is helping feed people in need. With Milwaukee's win, Chicago's Lou Malnati's Pizza donated food to Open Door Cafe at the Cathedral of St. John the Evangelist. This after Milwaukee Archbishop Jeffrey Grubb won the holy wager against Archbishop Cardinal Blaise Cupich of Chicago. Open Doors' Zachary Sholin tells TMJ News.
When we did find out that it was going to be our food program that did receive the pizza, it was a blessing. Like I said before, we don't really get a lot of these opportunities. A lot of the food that we serve is all made in-house.
Even though Milwaukee won, Archbishop Grubb is still sending 100 brats from Bunzel's Meats in West Allis to a Chicago food pantry.
And speaking of the Brewers, it's a battle of the lefties tonight in the opener of the NLCS. That's coming up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 406.
You're what?
Making Thanksgiving dinner.
Why so early?
So I can serve a big family meal on the flay table from Penny Mustard.
Oh, I love the flay table.
Melt butter and add peanut butter.
The strong Midwest craftsmanship ensures family feasts for generations.
Mix in strained beets and mayonnaise.
What recipe are you making?
What's the recipe?
The flay table with Kendall chairs, starting at just $287 a month, with no interest until October of 2027, through October 19th at Penny Mustard. Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago. PennyMustard.com.
Are you tired of fumbling through hundreds of feet of lights just to find out they burnt out last season? John Mercure here with Landworks Wisconsin. Let Landworks handle the holiday decorating for you this year so you can focus on what really matters. From festive holiday arrangements to dazzling lighting displays, their expert designers will work with you to build a display that fits your style and your budget. Make your home or business the talk of the block this year with holiday decorating from the teams I trust at Landworks. Visit landworkswisconsin.com.
Hey, WTMJ, Steve Scafidi here. Are you a member of the State of Wisconsin Pension Program? If so, you may have questions about your benefits and what they mean to your retirement plan. Join me along with Anik Wealth Management Director of Financial Planning Eric Strom and Senior Financial Planner Tom Burkholz on October 21st at 3:30 p.m. We'll discuss fundamentals, like how to look at your statement, and go deeper looking at case studies that may help relieve concerns and answer your questions about WRS. That's Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Register now. Visit WTMJ.com or events at AnixWealth.com.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The power of friendship rides along to the NLCS tonight. We're just about, right now, exactly 3 hours from first pitch at American Family Field between the Brewers and the Dodgers. Milwaukee winning all 6 regular season meetings between the two.
I'm just proud as hell of those guys, and I don't underestimate them. You can't look on paper and say how many of our position players would be on the Dodgers team. You can't really project that many of them would, but somehow they find a way. And that's why I really admire our team.
Brewers going with the opener strat again tonight. It will be Aaron Ashby getting the start for the Brewers. The Dodgers countering with former Cy Young Award winner Blake Snell. In the American League Championship Series, right now, Game 2 just underway between the Blue Jays and the Mariners. Top of the first, scoreless, but the Mariners threatening early. And the Bucks signing Alex Antetokounmpo to a two-way contract. He joins older brothers Giannis and Thanasis in the Bucks organization. Preseason, by the way, continues for Milwaukee Tuesday night at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 409.
This report is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. Visit sidingunlimited.com.
Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and let me say that again. Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors, and we install windows and doors really well. Our team of fine craftsmen show up, lay down drop cloths, remove the old, and install your new beautiful windows, and then clean up behind ourselves so you're left with brand new Pella replacement windows installed by Siding Unlimited and a great experience. Our team from sales to office to install will take you through the process the right way, the Siding Unlimited way, that has earned us the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. If you're getting estimates for windows and doors this fall, be sure to call Siding Unlimited because you can only get Siding Unlimited's professional craftsmen for Pella windows and doors by calling Siding Unlimited. For siding, roofing, windows, and doors, let Milwaukee's National Contractor of the Year, Siding Unlimited, give you a free estimate and start the process. Go to sidingunlimited.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Adam Roberts and Toya Washington.
All right, Game 1 Monday here in Milwaukee.
What a way to kick off the week.
Absolutely.
A Brewers game. I mean, how awesome is that?
NLCS 2, this is the first time we've done this rodeo in 7 years, and it's against the same exact team, so we got through the Cubs and did it in grand fashion with the home run on Saturday. So hopefully we can do the same today. Adam Roberts and Toya Washington with you on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. I do want to say, Toya, so during the last hour, we had Jennifer Smaja from Haws, the Humane Society out in Waukesha County, and she brought in a little tortie cat named Sylvie. And right at the end of the segment,
I decided
we wanted to let her roam. And, oh, how cute. She's moving over to do the sports cast. She's going to go. And then I look over, and I suddenly don't see a cat.
No.
She jumped
I was like, how
off.
much trouble could she get into? There's really not, I looked around. I looked at her. I know how curious cats are. I grew up with cats. So I was like, oh, it's fine. I mean, where could she go? Behind, these panels that sit behind us? If you watch us, live, Why did I think that was going to be a good idea?
Well, it turns out Sylvie is the curious cat and did a full lap of our Annex Wealth Management Studios all the way underneath to where the wires go under our tables and our computers. So, Dean, our engineer, if you're listening, everything is fine.
Everything is fine. It's all good. Yes.
And Sylvie is good as well.
I feel like I might have manifested that because I said, oh, with our luck, she's going to knock, a button and pull us off the air. And she, instead of going for a, computer or for the board here and tapping the wrong button, she went straight to the source. She's like, I'm going to go find my way through this weed entangled web that is under the desk.
It reminds me of the scene in Forrest Gump when he's about to say, I have some things to say about Vietnam. And then the guy goes up to the wires and starts pulling everything out.
So I was like, oh, gosh.
And that's
what
all
was
I have to say about Vietnam. Thank you.
I don't know what I was thinking. I apologize.
But we are all good here, and that's a good thing, too, because we got a lot still to come on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. I promised before the last hour we are going to talk city budget with Alderman Scott Spiker. He's on the Finance and Personnel Committee, and he sees all the sausage being made, if you will, at City Hall. And there's a lot going on and a lot of decisions that have to be tough and made. So we're going to talk with Alderman Spiker about that. We've also got plenty of Brewers. We will get to the Packers game. I'm going to be honest. Given everything happening with the Brewers right now, it was kind of a, click on, take notes, click off. All right, back to Brewers hype. But we will chat with Brian Balaga, Iowa, coming up on the 4:15 window. And we, of course, are following everything going on overseas as well, where it is a historic day, to quote President Trump, a historic dawn of a new Middle East, as the hostage release and ceasefire plans are moving forward. It is 4:13 on WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home. Up next.
Neck and back surgeries can be risky. Your spine deserves the best. Professional athletes trust Neurospine Center of Wisconsin, including baseball, where surgeon Dr. Brandon Rebels helped get Milwaukee's MVP back on the field for a stellar season. We can help you too, with the top nationally rated spine surgeons in the state for quality outcomes. You can trust the professionals at Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Get a second opinion in just a few clicks. Now offered virtually throughout Wisconsin. Visit nscwi.com. Neurospine Center of Wisconsin. Your spine health is our passion.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Homer for Window Nation. It's October, and if you've got old windows, that means you're back to dealing with chilly air seeping into your home. Eliminate annoying drafts once and for all with Window Nation in Milwaukee. This month, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free, plus pay nothing for 2 years. With the holidays coming up, it's a big deal, and they can do it so quickly. Don't miss out on free windows and 0 payments for 2 years with Window Nation, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Visit windownation.com before October 31st to get started.
The Fox and Hound Supper Club is hiring qualified kitchen expediters, ensuring food quality is at its highest standard. And bussers. You'll make real money working nights and weekends. Parents, tell your kids, inquire today, start next week. It's the real deal. Contact the Fox and Hounds.
It's 4:16, traffic and weather, starting with our own Debbie Lazaga. A couple hours to go still till first pitch. Deb, how are we looking specifically around American Family Field? I see some reds and yellows.
Just a little bit. So far, so good. It does actually look a lot like what we normally see around this time, but specifically, westbound 94, we are seeing some delays right through the stadium interchange to about Mitchell Boulevard, so that little chunk right there. On the eastbound side, well, let me start in Waukesha County really quick. Highway 164 all the way past Barker Road. That's the one chunk that you're going to see delays. And then you're also going to see delays from about 84th Street through the stadium interchange to about 35th Street. On southbound 43, we got some backups from just south of Silver Spring all the way down through the Marquette, down to the KK River. Luckily, northbound's not looking that bad, just a little backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue up towards North Avenue. Northbound side of 4394 is looking pretty clear at this point. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ forecast brought to you by our friends at Sweet Talks Med Spa. Your goals are our goals for game day today. We just saw on the TV, Toya. It's looking a little hazy out around the ballpark
It is.
today.
And we saw a few people tailgating. It looks like you probably need to grab a little bit of a jacket, something with a little bit of warmth to it. I mean,
but don't overdo it.
Don't overdo it.
Because then you're that person that has to find, where am I going to put the jacket?
Exactly.
I don't want to bring it inside.
Yes, exactly. But it looks like, obviously, with the roof closed, we don't have to worry about the weather inside. But yeah, if you're headed out there, I would say go ahead and grab that light jacket, maybe just like a windbreaker type of thing. But yeah.
53 your low tonight. We are watching for rain tomorrow, a high of 64. Some more clouds and rain throughout the week, and then we're back up to 70 by the time we get to Friday. Love that October weather. It's 61 and cloudy in Milwaukee at 4:17.
He wore the jersey. He lived the battles in the trenches. And now he's breaking it all down with his championship insight.
This is what it feels like to be one of the big dogs in the NFL. There's a lot of mental toughness that comes along with that. Boost your ego a little bit.
It's time to get caught up on the green and gold with today's Insider.
Brian Bloggin, Iowa.
On Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
It is time for Green and Gold Insiders, sponsored as always by Window Nation. And joining us, the former Packer, Brian Balaga, Iowa, with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Now, Brian, we are going to get into the Packers and the Bengals and look ahead to Arizona, but I do have to offer a begrudging congratulations to the Hawkeyes. winners of the Heartland Trophy once again over Wisconsin. And you talk about blowout wins.
Oh,
that was
painful.
about as blowout as it gets.
Painful.
Yeah, I think, I'm actually very excited to be on radio this week throughout Wisconsin. I know I'm very excited for Wednesday on the Willie and Tauscher show with Jesse and Tausch. I mean, it's going to be a good week. But, I don't want to brag too much, but I thought last year putting up 42 points was bad. But 37 to a goose egg, I was not expecting that. That was not something I went into this game thinking. I didn't even expect our quarterback to start, with the knee injury. And once I saw that he was going to be the starter, I thought there was a chance some points could get put up. And I was right. I was right in that thought when I saw he was the starter. So it was obviously Iowa. They're starting to play some decent football. Obviously, before the bye week, they hung in there against Indiana, who got a big win against Oregon. They only lost 20-15. They played really well against Indiana, so they were playing well going into that Wisconsin game. So it was there was a little bit of writing on the wall, unfortunately, for Wisconsin, and Wisconsin has some soul searching to do. We'll just put it that way.
I would say more than soul searching at this point. It's I don't know. As a Badger and someone who graduated, this is probably the most painful season I have experienced. Now, keep in mind, this goes way back to.
And they've been
1990. Like they've been pretty strong for many a year, and this is just. Ugh.
By the way,
believe me,
Badgers.
I get it.
Badgers get Ohio State, by the way, coming up next week, so not probably going to get any better. Your Hawkeyes, by the way, get a fledgling Penn State team. A lot going on over there, too, right now. James Franklin, he gone. I do want to circle back around, though, Brian, to the Packers, 27-18 winners over the Bengals. You mentioned Mark Tauscher. He, on the postgame show with Homer on ESPN Milwaukee and Madison, called this a meh game. Very concrete analysis by Mark Tauscher. Would you agree it was a meh win?
It kind of, it kind of was. It was kind of one of those, one of those boring wins. And I hate to say that in the NFL because every win's a good win when you're playing, right? When you're playing and you're going through the season, every win's a good win. Some are better than others, right? You beat a really good team. It feels like a better win than, you beat the Bengals like they did yesterday. But I think from fans and us watching it and expecting a certain type of game, and then I think the spread was 14.5 points, so you're thinking double digits or two touchdown type money line. That's hard to do in the NFL, right? That's a hard thing to do in the NFL, no matter what the team situation is. And it was just one of those games where you felt like they would get ahead, and they just couldn't keep the pressure on Cincinnati consistently, right? And I get it. Like, Cincinnati had, and I said this going into the game, they have good players, especially offensively with Chase and Higgins, those guys are good, right? And you saw them make plays as the game went on in the second half. Obviously, Chase made a great, play in the end zone there, and get a touchdown to close that gap a little bit. And it just felt like Green Bay's defense. Not that they played bad, it just didn't seem like they consistently got Cincinnati off the field. Like, again, we were used to seeing in the first few weeks of the season. Not saying that they played poor by any stretch of the imagination. But again, I think our expectation from what it was initially, maybe we need to tamper that a little bit. And I think offensively too, I get, what was it, 28, I think they scored. I think you expect to see our offense put up bigger numbers, right? And I think at this point, you have to expect this offense to grow, right? And to get better. And it's still early in the season, right? Because they just had a bye week. And normally you think bye week, it's like middle of the season, and it's not. It was only 4 games. They had a bye week, and it's still early in the season. But you want to see them grow and have positive results against the defense that by all means is struggling. And it just seemed like they sputtered at times. So, a win's a win, and it was kind of an ugly win. But you take them, right? And you take positive things from them and move on. And that's kind of the way I look at it.
Real quick, Brian, before we let you go, I did notice that Jordan Love, and I've heard people say this before, his decision-making can be sus at times, and certainly in the first half with that really bad-looking interception, that was one situation. Did look like he kind of ironed things out in the second half. Is this just something that we got to get used to while he's still, despite not being a rookie by any stretch, it still seems like he's trying to get his feet under him at times?
Yeah, I mean, I think, that wasn't, his best decision by any stretch. And he has that from time to time. And I think, no, he's not a rookie, but he's still, I consider, as a young starter in the league at the quarterback position, right? I still consider that. And there's still a lot, I think, he would say he's learning and getting used to. And, in certain situations, right, there's do's and don'ts, and he's experiencing that week by week. But I think as the game went on, right after that first pick, I did think he played well, and he made some great throws, and the receivers did a good job. And obviously there were a lot of big plays down the field, Golden and Tucker Kraft. I mean, there were some explosive games down the field in the passing game that, you could highlight. I mean, that was a thing that really stood out for me, right? I mean, and I think, when you look at this offense right now, and that's kind of where I'm getting at with this offense, they're relying a lot right now on Jordan Love in the passing game, right? And to me, that is why I think sometimes we're seeing the offense sputter, right? Because normally when you have this running back like Josh Jacobs, they relied on him so much last year, and they'd be in such favorable down and distances on third down. And it's easy to get first downs when it's 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4. I mean, you're unpredictable to defenses. And now they're getting in, you see a lot of 3rd and longs or 3rd and mediums, which those are obvious pass downs, and defenses can do different things. And they're all relying a lot on the pass game because the run game's a little bit inconsistent right now. So I'd love for them to get the run game going more. I get it. I think he averaged like 5 yards a crack, but you like to see Jacobs start to rush for over 100 yards a game more consistently, like we saw last year. Like that was something that this offense relied on a bunch, and they're going to need it as this season goes on and as the weather starts to change. And that type of football game is what's required to win games. Like that's what you need as playoff weather comes about. So again, I'm not going to complain about a win. It's not what I do. A win's a win. But there's still certain things that you want them to do, and that's, be productive in the run game and get Jacobs going. And that's certainly something that I'm hoping that they're able to take out to Arizona next week.
Packers-Cardinals next Sunday. We'll have Green Bay Game Day postgame for you here on WTMJ. Brian Balaga, our Green Bay and Gold Insider today. Thanks, Brian.
No problem. Have a good one.
News about your money now. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green. Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P 500 all up 1.33%, if not higher than that, 2% up on the day for the NASDAQ. Just good gains across the board. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Wisconsin's Afternoon News Podcast is sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition.
Massage comes in. I'm a customer of Mend Massage, and they just absolutely get it. You can find them at mendstudio.com. Multiple locations, 11 types of massage therapy. They go above and beyond, taking care of employees. They customize everything. It's Mend Massage. When I'm there, I'm comfortable, and I know it's long-term wellness. That's their goal. Each session is 60 minutes. They book you for 60, you get 60. I trust them. mendstudio.com.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Does our Inspired Closets team make dreams come true?
Every day, Dan. From consultation to design to installation, the whole process is built around our clients.
Which is how we earn our 5-star reviews. It's our team that makes the difference.
Inspired Closets is more than just organization. It's an investment in you.
Get started today at inspiredclosets.com.
Inspired Closets Milwaukee, a wife and husband team.
You can order online at martyspizza.net even before we open. And that's great for catering your large group lunch, or just to make sure we get your delivery order where it needs to be, right on time. We're big on catering, and we love to deliver to large groups like weddings. You can bet a Marty's Pizza will bring a second win to any party. For carryout, delivery, or dine-in 7 days a week with 150 seating capacity, or for your large group gathering, remember Marty's Pizza off 594 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Right off 594 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
What makes Hasselus mattress different?
Aside from employee-free showrooms, free next-day delivery and haul-away, and way too low prices on Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper?
Yeah, besides that.
Well, Hasselus is locally owned.
You mean your franchise is locally owned?
We're not a franchise. Every showroom is owned and managed by the same family. So, when you shop at Hasselus, your money stays right here. And through Monday, our family wants to give you a $248 credit towards a new Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, and Serta Perfect Sleeper just for shopping local.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Our 43 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
I like that.
Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
I love that.
Free next day delivery too.
Thanks.
For what?
For being different.
Shop local and enjoy a $248 credit through Monday at Hasselus Mattress. Open 9 to 9. Find a no-hassle, employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Flanners Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanners has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanners, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanners in West Dallas, Grafton, or at Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
It all comes down to this, folks. Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain. Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast! Speaking of fast, did you just see that play? Yeah, he vaporized that ball. That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
This week on What's on Tap with Sandy Max, discover why St. Kate, the Arts Hotel, is the perfect stop before or after your next concert, play, or performance. We're joined by Chris Schiefelbein, St. Kate's food and beverage manager, to talk about the brand new studio kitchen and creative cocktails that celebrate the arts. Whether you're meeting friends before the show or winding down after, St. Kate's bars and restaurants are the place to be. Running late? Grab pizza or sushi ready in minutes. Get acquainted with creativity. Learn more at stkatearts.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm Adam Roberts. Your top story, new video just released of a Milwaukee police shooting.
And I'm Toya Washington. Finding funds for the fire department fleet.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound on 94. Got some backups in Waukesha County from Highway 16, pretty much all the way past Barker Road. You're back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange to about Hawley Road, and another backup coming out of the stadium interchange to 27th Street. On the westbound side, that's going to be backed up a bit just before 27th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 backing up from just south of Good Hope Road all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. Northbound's just a little bit backed up from Fond du Lac Avenue to north. And then southbound 41, a hefty ride from just south of Main Street all the way down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy down to 53 tonight. More clouds, 64, and a chance for afternoon showers on your Tuesday. Right now in Milwaukee, clouds and dropping a bit down to 60 degrees even. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Milwaukee police releasing this afternoon dash camera video of a police shooting leaving one person dead Thursday in the morning near 49th and Mill Road. The video just released shows from an off-duty officer's car's perspective the moment of impact and the officer's response.
What are you doing?
After both drivers pulled over, got out to survey the damage, the other driver, identified as 26-year-old Elijah Wilkes, approached the officer, drew his weapon, and struck him in the face. The officer then fired back, killing Wilkes. After seeing the footage late last week, Wilkes' family and the returnee B. Ivory Lamar admitted the officer's actions were justified.
Milwaukee Fire Department is sounding the alarm on its aging fleet of vehicles.
We are beating these rigs up.
The city needs to replace at least 8 frontline engines and 6 ladder trucks over the next 2 years. That's based on safety guidelines from the National Fire Protection Association. Mayor Cavalier Johnson's proposed budget includes $2 million for equipment replacement, but Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky tells the Common Council Finance Committee,
Chief, what can you buy with $2 million worth of equipment budget?
Can probably get a single fire engine, and there will be a little left over.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Alderman Peter Bergelis has suggested the city borrow money if it can't find another source.
To Washington, where House Speaker Mike Johnson is predicting the federal government shutdown may become the longest in history. Johnson says he won't negotiate with Democrats on Capitol Hill until they hit pause on their health care demands and reopen the government. The shutdown in its 13th day, the longest shutdown 35 days that during President Trump's first administration between 2018 and 19.
Seattle-Tacoma International Airport is refusing to show a video from Homeland Security, that blames Democrats for the government shutdown.
The Port of Seattle says they won't play the video message delivered by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem because it's too political.
Democrats in Congress refuse to fund the federal government, and because of this, many of our operations are impacted.
Instead, the port is urging a bipartisan effort to end the government shutdown. They're also working to find ways to support federal employees like TSA agents working without pay. Luke Ducey for CBS News, Seattle.
Overseas, celebrations continuing in Israel and in Gaza with the return of all living hostages and the release of Palestinian prisoners. A ceasefire also means the restart of aid into the heavily war-torn region. ABC's Marcus Moore in Tel Aviv.
The first phase of this agreement calls for aid to be surged into Gaza. Perhaps 600 trucks a day going into the enclave. But it's one thing to get those trucks across the border, and it's another thing to be able to distribute that aid to the families who need it.
190,000 tons of food, shelter items, medicine, and other supplies from the UN are now approved to enter the Gaza Strip.
Time for a WTMJ Sport. I was so excited I jumped the gun there. Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. We are just about, an hour and a half away from game one?
2.5-ish.
2.5, sorry. My math is bad too. I'm excited and I have bad math skills.
Understand.
Well, so we just, all this to say, we are close to game one in the NLCS game here at American Family Field. It will be the battle of the left-handers as the Brewers will start Aaron Ashby while LA plans to go with Blake Snell. First pitch tonight, 7:08 at AmFam. Our coverage gets underway at 6 o'clock here with Brewers warm-up right here on WTMJ Radio. Packers, by the way, we just got done talking about them. They were 27-18 winners and a blah win. Meh win over the Bengals Sunday in Green Bay. They are on the road this Sunday with a 3:25 p.m. kickoff in Arizona against the Cardinals. Also, 7th-ranked Wisconsin volleyball picked up a 3-set win over Maryland. The Badgers now 12-2 on the season. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 4:38. And speaking of the Brewers, we head out to American Family Field with Lane Grindle. That's up next.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ. Now batting for the Brewers Radio Network, play-by-play announcer Lane Grindle.
First pitch, breaking ball, hit high, hit deep, left center, bye-bye baseball! The legend of Andrew Vaughn keeps growing, a grand slam! You have got to be kidding me!
Lane Grindle on Wisconsin's afternoon news is presented by Neurospine Center of Wisconsin.
All right, 4:39 on a Brewers Monday. Lane is at the ballpark. All right, Lane, I need you to set the scene for me. We saw just how loud and crazy it got at American Family Field as they took care of the Cubs last weekend. Still a few hours to go until first pitch. What are we looking at? Batting practice right about now?
Yeah, we're watching the Brewers take batting practice right now on the field. There's a ton of media. I mean, every round you advance to in the postseason, it gets a little bit crazier, right? Mm-hmm. The wild card series is one thing. That feels a little bit like regular season plus, if you will. Then you get to the NLDS, and it gets really serious and pretty big media contingent, and then you get to the NLCS, and you're close to zoo status at that point. I mean, it's just a ton of people on the warning tracks, a ton of people here already. The gates aren't open yet, but just from a media standpoint, I mean, there's just nowhere to walk behind the shell, and so that's how you know the stakes have gotten a little bit bigger now.
Yeah, and I have to imagine we saw Pat Murphy with the Japanese media there for Shohei Ohtani, of course, also Yamamoto on that pitching staff, and so it does get a little crowded there. I bring up the pitching because we've been asking our listeners today to text in their X factors for tonight, and you can still do that, by the way, 855-616-1620. For me, Lane, it's 100% the pitching, because we saw in the times the Brewers went with the openers, there were some mixed results, especially early, and we have Aaron Ashby tonight against Blake Snell. What are you looking for on that front?
Well, I'm looking for a clean inning or at least a scoreless inning out of Aaron Ashby. You have a lot of lefties in this Dodgers lineup that concern you. Shohei, Freddie Freeman, of course, those would be the two big ones. And so you go with a lefty in that first inning, and if you can get him through Freeman, who's hitting 4th today, and get a 0 at the same time, that's just one less time that whoever comes in after Ashby, and it could be Quinn Priester, Jose Quintana's been thrown out there, but that's one less time that they've got to face them, especially if it's Priester facing those lefties. So that's kind of the reason why you do something like this. It's kind of leverage early, right, to try to get off to a good start, let the crowd get into it, let the team settle into the game a little bit. And then you're one inning down, and you're bringing in your bulk guy at that point. I think that's how the Brewers would love to see this play out. Snell's good, man. He's won the Cy Young twice. Oh, yeah. He's dealt with injuries this year, but made 11 starts, finished the season very, very strong, has pitched well in the postseason, and has had some big postseason starts in his career. I mean, he started in the World Series a couple of times with the Rays back in 2020 against the Dodgers, in fact. So he's really talented. The Brewers have been great against lefties this year, though, and so you hope that continues. They've been probably the best team in baseball against left-handed pitching, left-handed starters over the course of this year.
We spoke to Telly Hughes in the 3 o'clock hour, and he was talking about his X factors and what, in his opinion, it was early runs and those starting pitchers, which you just covered there. And actually he talked about, and I don't know if it's like he called him kind of a sleeper, like relying on Quinn Priester, like the fact that he has made a little bit of a dent here and there, but that he might really shine tonight. I guess, what's your opinion and your X factor in tonight?
Well, yeah, if Quinn's the guy to follow Ashby, and I think there's a decent chance he will be. I mean, this is a kid that just really pitched well in this ballpark over the course of this year, and really pitched down this stretch very well in this ballpark. So he also fared very well against the Dodgers in Los Angeles when he made a start against them coming out of the All-Star break. So there's a lot to like there. I mean, what happened at Wrigley, you would have to believe is a blip on the radar screen, if you will, because that's just not what the bulk of the work and the resume for him this year would suggest. This kid had a phenomenal season. He's one of the main reasons the Brewers won the division. So you'd love to see if he's the guy. You'd love to see him climb back up there and get after it and reclaim the form that we saw so often this year, because the consistency from him, I think, is what really was the difference maker for him. He had shown flashes before, even before he was in a Brewers uniform. The stuff was real. The ability was there, but he showed the consistency with the Brewers all season long.
Hey, Lane, we'll let you get back to your prep work here, but I want to ask you, so a few months ago I was speaking with your colleague Jeff Levering for my show Reporter's Notebook, and he mentioned a goal of his at some point in his career. When he's in the box, he's calling the game, he wants, as the cotton candy man or the drink carrier goes by, to reach over and snatch a cotton candy from the vendor as they walk by. Did he accomplish that at all this season at American Family Field while you two were working together?
He has not accomplished that while we've been working together. But, I mean, look, we've got a lot left, hopefully a lot left this year even. So, you know, maybe there's some things I can do to help him accomplish that goal. We're teammates in this booth, and so we're there for each other. And if that's something he wants to get done, you know, maybe I'll bring some sort of a extension rod that can reach down and pluck the cotton candy
one of those
up out
grabbers,
of the
like
crowd
you see
from the
in
vendors.
The senior centers to grab stuff from on the couch.
Yes.
Or like a golf ball grabber, you know, like when you don't want to bend over, maybe something like that. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. I mean, I don't know why we would limit ourselves to not being able to get that done. I think that can happen.
No limits in the Brewers broadcast booth. He's Lane Grindle. You hear him tonight. Brewers-Dodgers Game 1. We'll have it for you here on WTMJ. Thanks so much, Lane.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
4:45 on WTMJ. Deb, help us get you home next.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. It's kindness, it's compassion, it's very specialized training. Their mission is to transform the culture of care, and they're doing that every single day. I've been in their places. I've seen how they love and take care of people with cognitive decline, Alzheimer's, or other related dementia symptoms. In part at Azura, they do such a great job because their staff goes through specialized training. They're going to take great care of you. Locations throughout southeast Wisconsin, Wisconsin-based, family-owned. It's Azura.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Brewers fans, it's time to rally. Join us Thursday night for an NLCS Game 3 watch party. Presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino and sponsored by Surfside. Catch every pitch, every swing, and every big moment with the Hometown Call. Broadcasting live inside the Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. Enjoy great food, cold drinks, and the electric energy of Brewers fans coming together as the crew fights for another postseason win. It all happens Thursday night at 5 o'clock. The Game 3 watch party. Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Annex. 620 WTMJ. Your home for Brewers baseball.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
The fall home buying season is officially here, which sometimes means less competition among home buyers, but that doesn't seem to be the case this year, with most listings still getting multiple offers. Now, a lot of home shoppers just go with their bank for their pre-approval. But if you'd like to get into your new home for the holidays, now's the time to get started with a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, or switch if you started somewhere else. Not only will we put a $2,000 guarantee behind our fully verified pre-approval, we'll also work with you and your real estate agent to craft offers that get accepted over the rest. Our favorite tool is to see if we can get an appraisal waiver for the property you're trying to buy. Sure, that takes more effort on our part, but adding those magic words, "no appraisal required," to your property-specific pre-approval can be the difference maker. And our closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 less than the bank's for the same rate. Get started with your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button today at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
If you missed this,
Jonathan Lavoie, renowned criminal defense attorney, is a partner at Kim and Lavoie, and he is with us.
I think there's a real shot that the judge may allow for some type of bail with very strict conditions.
Or this.
The amount of damage done to the Iran nuclear sites, can you talk about that?
He continues to argue that they were completely destroyed, that they were obliterated.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com, presented by Dave Drakamp Heating.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Want to save big on your next home improvement project? Visit extpros.com today for expert services at unbeatable prices.
449 on WTMJ. Traffic and weather starting with the Debbie Lazaga. What are we looking at, Deb?
Delays along 94 eastbound, pretty much from Highway 16 all the way through the Barker Road area. Then you're back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange to about Hawley Road, and then again through the Stadium interchange to about 35th. The westbound side's backed up from 27th to about Mitchell Boulevard. A hefty ride on the bypass heading southbound from the Zoo all the way into the Hale interchange. Starts to let up a little bit past Beloit Road, but still, it is going to be a bit on the tight side. Southbound 43, you do have backups from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way through the Marquette, all the way down to the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Your game day WTMJ forecast for tonight. We should stay dry. Now, heads up as you head out the door tomorrow. You might run into some rain showers, but it will be a low of 53 tonight. Mid-60s for your high tomorrow with that morning rain. More rain possible late Thursday. Still hanging in the mid to upper 60s by Friday. We are back up to near 70 degrees. Right now in downtown Milwaukee, just hours from first pitch, 61 and cloudy at 4:50. Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Adam Roberts and Toya Washington in with you on a Monday afternoon. Ongoing still at City Hall, lots of city budget meetings. We are in budget season for government officials in Milwaukee. Lots of tough decisions have to be made. We're going to dig into the process and try to make it as simple as possible to understand. And to do this, we welcome in the Alderman from the Fightin' 13th, Scott Spiker, with us in studio. Alderman, welcome in.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So one of the things, and I wanted to bring you in specifically because you are on the Finance and Personnel Committee, one of the members of the body, chaired by Alderwoman Marina Dmitrievich, and you guys right now are hearing from all bodies of city government. Everyone's coming before you, and we just heard in the news from Fire Chief Aaron Lipsky about the needs of the fire fleet, and you're hearing a lot of, here's what we need, but as we know, what you need or want is not what you get. So walk us through that process of trying to parse through what is a need versus what is a department want.
Yeah, and that's the tricky question. So the mayor proposes this budget, and then we have a month to basically review it and then amend it. And you have to, as a government official, look at, as you said, nice to have, need to have. There's a bunch of things that if we had all the money in the world, we'd love to have here in Milwaukee. But this is a budget that started with a $100 million hole. The mayor has proposed one way of patching that hole, but we have to decide, okay, is this something essential for the delivery of city services? Is this something that's going to make a day-to-day difference to our constituents? Only so, then, do we keep it and make sure we make space for it in the budget.
One of the things as we look through the proposed budget, which the mayor introduced earlier this year, and you guys are now parsing through, $2 billion. There is a property tax increase included in that 3%. One of the things you have touched on specifically in the last week or so is this idea of the vehicle registration hike. You likely know it if you're listening as a wheel tax. It would go up by $10. This is the third time since it was introduced that it would go up. And you have suggested in recent days and about a week or so that the city would be better served, instead of increasing that vehicle tax, to defund and dismantle the Milwaukee streetcar. I want to know your thought process on this, because there's a lot of layers to that onion. I know that the city has had a love-hate relationship with the streetcar, the HOP, at various times. So walk me through, where are the savings and how much exactly do you think we could save by getting rid of one and then withholding the other?
Yeah, fair question. So the wheel tax came in 2008 at $20 for the city share. Back in 2021, it was raised another $10. I didn't vote for that. And now in this budget, the mayor's proposing to raise it another 10. And at some point, my constituents have said, Uncle, that's enough. We can't take any more. It's hard enough getting by on a day-to-day basis without getting hit with more and more fees, more and more taxes. So they basically have asked me, come up with alternatives. You're a smart guy, figure it out. And so one glaring case where there's potential budgetary savings is in the Milwaukee streetcar. So whatever you thought of it when it was brought to town by Mayor Barrett and team, things have changed since that time. Mm-hmm. For one thing, there's this thing called Act 12 that passed in 2023 that basically put restrictions on how you can fund the streetcar. So you can't use tax levy, you can't use this complicated tool called tax incremental financing. So what it means is basically the streetcar, that 2.1 mile loop locked downtown, ain't going to grow. It's going to stay in place. It's going to be a loop. And for the pleasure of running it every year, we get to spend $7 million. And if you want to think of a worse way to spend $7 million, I'd like you to tell me it, because this has not been worth it.
Well, with that $7 million and running it every year, I guess what is the financial cost then if that were an idea and we decide to get rid of that HOP? Mm-hmm. We have to dismantle a whole infrastructure. So there's got to be a price tag to that. And how does the city cover that then?
Yeah, I would urge my colleagues to let that infrastructure sit until we get funds to dismantle it. The track's very annoying and stuff, not as annoying as losing $7 million a year. It can be a testament to a previous administration's folly, and hopefully not to our folly by continuing the task. So I would leave the tracks as they were, get rid of the streetcars, and get rid of the money that is literally being burnt every time that runs around its little circle.
I recently spoke with the new operations manager for the system, James Vanu, who was hired earlier this year. Had a lot of grand ideas for expanding it. Is he been cued into your proposals at all?
Yeah, I've shared with DPW, I've shared with everybody through a nice press release about my intention to move forward with a suggestion to end the streetcar. I tried in 2020 when we were in the midst of COVID to mothball it. I was told there would be costs in just even mothballing it if you want to bring it back. So now what I'm proposing is just end it entirely. $7 million a year. What folks will probably say is, didn't the feds give you some money to run this streetcar? And they did. They gave us like $69 million through a CMAQ grant. But one, there's less left on it now. And two, at $7 million a year, we can pay off whatever's left within a certain amount of time. And the other point I've emphasized to people is, have you looked at our federal government lately? Have you looked at the Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Secretary Duffy? I'm not sure he comes clawing back for the money in the same way the Biden administration would have.
Alderman Scott Spiker with us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Back quickly to the budget cycle before we let you go here. You have listening sessions coming up in your district, as several aldermen and women do for theirs, because people have questions. And I know that people sometimes, when they think of local government specifically, they wonder, does my voice actually matter, or is it in one ear for my leader and out the other? But speak to how significant and what impact people attending these events can have.
Well, the town halls are vital for making sure that I have the pulse of my constituents at the present moment. I talk to them every day, but at the town halls, that's your big chance to come out and say, no, this is what I want, this is what I don't want. And people haven't been waiting for the town halls to contact me. Mm-hmm. They've been reaching out. They've been saying, amen, this should have been done a while ago. Rip off the Band-Aid now. Yeah, it's not a great look to hang up something that you just started X many years ago, but at some point you have to realize what reality is, and you can't send good money after bad.
Alderman Scott Spiker joining us on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Good insight, Alderman. And you've got a busy couple of weeks coming up. The Transportation Fund, by the way, is coming up this Thursday. I will be curious to see what they think about your proposal on the hop when they speak at that. We'll be watching.
Get your popcorn ready. It'll be a fun day.
You heard it here. Get your popcorn ready. Alderman Spiker, thanks so much.
Thank you.
It's 4:57 on WTMJ. News is next.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Remember when they used to ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? At Bank of America, we ask every day, what would you like the power to do? When you work here, you help build businesses, inspire communities, and forge legacies. And now we've raised our U.S. minimum wage to $25 an hour. So the opportunity to do more also comes with competitive pay. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/25. Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Everyone needs a plumber in their contacts list. And I've got yours, Vince Vetrano here. It's Horner Plumbing. We had a big job on the Vetrano home, needed to move the water hookups for the washer-dryer and refrigerator, and we turned to the trusted experts for more than 50 years in southeast Wisconsin, Horner Plumbing. CJ and Kaylee, they did a great job at the house. All the follow-up with Horner was amazing, great work, and outstanding customer service. Get started now at Horner Plumbing. That's HornerPlumbing.com.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Does our Inspired Closets team make dreams come true?
Every day, Dan. From consultation to design to installation, the whole process is built around our clients.
Which is how we earn our 5-star reviews. It's our team that makes the difference.
Inspired Closets is more than just organization. It's an investment in you.
Get started today at InspiredClosets.com.
Inspired Closets Milwaukee, a wife and husband team.
The best team in baseball taking on the defending champs.
And the Brewers have a date with the Dodgers. Uribe deals to Carson Kelly, swinging a bouncer to short. Ortiz has it, and the Brewers are going to the championship series.
The Brewers host the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLCS. Our radio network game day cover starts tonight at 6:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Shop smarter with Higher Love Cannabis Company in Menominee, Michigan, just a few seconds across the Wisconsin border. Award-winning, organically grown, quality products you can trust. Don't settle for knockoffs in Wisconsin. Get the real deal at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Picture this. You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay. And it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
The best team in baseball taking on the defending champs.
And the Brewers have a date with the Dodgers. Uribe deals to Carson Kelly, swinging a bouncer to short. Ortiz has it, and the Brewers are going to the championship series.
The Brewers host the Dodgers in Game 1 of the NLCS. Our radio network game day cover starts tonight at 6:30. October runs through the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
5:01, I'm Adam Roberts. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. It's Monday, October 13th. Our top story, an overnight shootout and chase in a Milwaukee suburb.
And I'm Toya Washington, and for Julia Fellow, a plane crash in Massachusetts with a Wisconsin connection.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Eastbound 94 is going to be backed up from Highway 16 pretty much all the way past Brookfield Road. Back on the brakes from the Zoo interchange to about Hawley Road, and then after that it opens up. On the westbound side, we are seeing a little bit of a backup right through the Stadium interchange. Southbound on 43, backing up from Good Hope Road pretty much all the way down past Capitol. You're back on the brakes from Burleigh down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Well, if you're heading out to the ballpark, you're encountering some clouds, but it doesn't look like any rain, which is good. A low tonight of 53. Your Tuesday forecast cloudy, chance of afternoon rain, and a high of 64. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, no one hurt after an overnight police chase and shootout in a Milwaukee suburb.
West Dallas police tried to pull over an SUV around 1 a.m. Monday near 70th and Greenfield, but the car took off. During the chase, a passenger in the fleeing SUV fired around 20 gunshots at West Dallas police, and officers returned gunfire. Stop sticks were used to disable the vehicle as the pursuit ended in Wauwatosa. Police say a 26-year-old woman from West Dallas and a 20-year-old man from Oak Creek were arrested. Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
A judge from South Milwaukee resigns after being charged with making false statements on election nomination papers. 40-year-old Kelly Martika faces one misdemeanor count of false swearing. Prosecutors say Martika ran for municipal judge in South Milwaukee while being a resident of Racine. They also say she falsely claimed that she personally circulated the documents to get the signatures required to run for office. Martika won the election back in April, but resigned a month ago in September. She pled not guilty just last week to the charge. Now, if convicted, she does face up to 9 months in jail.
A small airplane en route to southeast Wisconsin crashing onto a major Massachusetts highway, killing both people on board and scattering flaming debris across the interstate. New Bedford Mayor John Mitchell said it was a miracle no motorists on 195 were seriously injured in the Monday morning rush hour crash.
Preliminary info indicates the plane may have been trying to land at New Bedford Regional Airport, but it does not appear that the pilot provided the airport with a flight plan. State police say the crash caused injuries to one person on the ground. They were transported by another passenger car to St. Luke's Hospital, and the severity of their injuries are unknown.
That's CBS's Louisa Miller on scene. The private plane had been heading for Kenosha.
Back home, she was seriously hurt on Milwaukee's Water Street this summer. A driver crashed through barricades, hitting her and a friend. Now, a young New Berlin woman wants change.
Chloe Handrick spent 2 weeks in the hospital, had 7 blood transfusions, and 2 surgeries.
One thing I will never forget is just that unbelievable pain.
3 months later, she's still not completely mobile. Her family wheeled her into our studio.
Everything has been so much harder after it, and I'm discovering how to live my life in a new way.
Handrick is working hard to recover, but also to advocate for the future.
I want to see a lot of the traffic patterns change when there's blocked roads, that the lights are changed, that they have better, stronger barricades.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Overseas, President Trump celebrating an Israel-Gaza ceasefire deal while attending a summit in Egypt, where negotiations continue this early morning overseas.
And I want to thank all of you and all of these great nations and this region for what it's gone through and all of the fights it's had, or life over death and hope over strife and harmony over hatred. That's what we want.
The president now heading back to the U.S. after more than 2 years of an Israeli-Gaza conflict. The remaining 20 living Israeli hostages and over 2,000 Palestinian prisoners have been released. Coming up, proud of making it this far after living unlimited. WTMJ News Times 5:05.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife recently had a major accident that involved her back. I felt blessed and lucky because Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin is on our side. She's on the way to healing. They've got the best imaging and best doctors, the best systems, and the best way of taking care of you. They've got experts when it comes to things like shoulders, knees, and hips. And it's not always surgery. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin will take care of you from beginning to end. Go to their website, OHOW.com, OHOW.com. Request an appointment. Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
Since 1946, Ansay & Associates has provided insurance to help secure businesses and families throughout Wisconsin. With custom coverage and superior customer service, Ansay & Associates can provide all of your insurance needs. Visit ansay.com today and get a free consultation with one of our strategists. Or come see us in person at any of our local offices. Ansay & Associates, securing and protecting your American dream.
You ever hear a deal so good you think, what's the catch?
Yes, when I got a free gym membership, and the catch was I still had to go.
Well, right now, Capital is offering great financing, no catch.
No selling a kidney?
Nope, just easy financing and honest service during Capital Credit Days. Now through October 31st, air conditioners start as low as $65 a month, furnaces only $59 a month, or a complete system only $117 a month.
Capital, where you choose cool or cozy with no catch financing.
Call CapitalCares.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. You've heard about Tri-County Contracting and their worry-free roof tune-up. You've heard about their instant roof quote. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also handles windows. Our project at my home moving right along right now, and the process has been so easy and thorough. It's nice when you can trust the team you're working with and know that they are looking out for you. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and also windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
I got excited again. Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber
It's an exciting day.
It is the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The NLCS begins tonight in Milwaukee with the Brewers facing the Dodgers. Milwaukee, by the way, won all 6 of their regular season meetings.
I'm just proud as hell of those guys, and I don't underestimate them. You can't look on paper and say how many of our position players would be on the Dodgers team. You can't really project that many of them would. But somehow they find a way. And that's why I really admire our team.
Aaron Ashby will get the start for the Brewers. Dodgers starting former Cy Young winner Blake Snell. Now, coverage of tonight's game starts after the 6 p.m. news right here on WTMJ Radio. First pitch scheduled for 7:08 in 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 22 seconds.
That was so super specific, Toya. That was awesome.
But who's counting? All right, the Milwaukee Bucks are signing Alex Antetokounmpo to a 2-way contract, joining older brothers Giannis and Thanasis in the Bucks organization. The preseason, by the way, continues for the Bucks Tuesday night at home against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:09.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. It goes fast. Winter is right around the corner. Hometown Windows and Doors will help you keep the warmth in and the cold out with energy-efficient windows and doors from top brands like Pella, Marvin, and Anderson. Hometown is here for you. They listen. Hometown will help you find the products for your home, your budget, and your style. Visit their beautiful showroom in New Berlin today. Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. HometownWindows.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, Adam Roberts and Toya Washington.
Oh, are you waiting for a very accurate and specific countdown again?
Please give it to me, Toya.
1 hour, 57 minutes, and 35 seconds.
Until first pitch from American Family Field, we are going to go Brewers heavy in the 5 o'clock hour here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Adam Roberts, Toya Washington with you until 6 o'clock. We've got Isaac in the production studio, and Tiff Pula is working over in the newsroom for us today. And joining us from the newsroom, WTMJ's Elizabeth Lintonen, who was out and about with the Archbishop. More on that in a moment. But Liz, the last time we spoke was for Reporter's Notebook, which aired this past Sunday. And we talked about covering the Brewers from the perspective of the press, which we both had the opportunity to do last week. Specifically, you did a really good video on the food offerings at American Family Field. And now there's new offerings for the NLCS, so you got to get back out there and get back on your game, right?
Oh, I sure do. I've kind of developed a little bit of a food reviewer thing for our socials. As we grow them out, I find myself, trying and sampling food. And I'm not a food critic, but I think I have some good opinions, and they have some good food down at that ballpark. That's for sure.
And I made the mistake of actually reading some of these things, and I am starving right now. Birria ramen, I hear. Jalapeno cheddar crunch wrap. That is a burger patty, cheddar cheese, comeback sauce, jalapenos wrapped and toasted in a tortilla.
My God.
That sounds, No calories.
No,
That sounds
of
very
course.
light.
Yeah,
You're not going to
no.
need a nap after taking one of those down?
Absolutely not.
No.
You'll be ready to go another 3 hours in the baseball stadium. That's for sure. That's nothing but energizing.
And then the one that gets me here, the Battle Box 2-foot nachos.
What?
Now, that was in the NLDS, but I don't remember. Did you get your hands on one of those?
I did.
Okay.
I did have some nachos. They're very, very good. It's a good balanced flavor profile.
Part of this complete breakfast. Now,
This complete breakfast.
now, Liz, speaking, not to continue the food train going here.
No, you go
but,
for
We're going to, because I'm starving.
I'm also starving, so this is a valid thing to talk about, I fear.
So you and our teammate Nazir Spencer kind of comboed this story today. So you may recall during the NLDS between the Brewers and the Cubs, healthy part of the rivalry. There was some unhealthy parts of it, depending on who you ask. But a healthy part went on between the archbishops of both the Milwaukee and Chicago diocese. And the Chicago Archdiocese had bet deep dish pizzas for a good cause should the Brewers beat the Cubs. That transpired, and today the Archdiocese made good on that promise.
They sure did. They sent up Luminati's Pizza to Open Doors Milwaukee. It's a basically like a food service for people who are in need of a hot meal to get some food. And they sent up deep dish pizza for everyone. And so it was a really, Nazir did attend that, and I talked to the Archbishop after the fact. But there's some great pictures, and they had a good time. So
would have preferred if they sent up Pequods instead of Lou Malnati's, but I'm just mincing hairs here. That was the favorite growing up on Clybourne.
I thought you were talking about like some fruit I had never heard. Pequods?
A Pequod, sending a box of Pequods.
I have never had
what that
Pequods,
is.
but I have heard about Pequods.
So the thing with Pequods that everyone always makes a big fuss about is, well, it's not actually deep dish. It's Detroit style. They just burn the pizza. No, it's deep dish. If you serve it in an iron skillet
Then
at
it's
your plate, it's a deep dish pizza.
Okay, all right.
I mean, Lou's is fine. And to your point, Liz, it's for a good cause.
Yes.
So this isn't one of the good examples of sports rivalries. If you fly the L, some people get all in a tither, but
Yes.
delivering pizzas is a good part of it.
Yeah.
No, and so what ended up happening too is the Archbishop of Milwaukee ended up. So the deal was that we get pizza if the the Brewers won, and they get brats if the Cubs had won. But we're still sending brats tomorrow to
See, that's
Chicago,
just Midwest
to the
nice.
Humboldt neighborhood. So Archbishop Jeffrey Graub will be going down there himself, actually, with 100 brats from Bunzel's. To feed people down there. So, it didn't end up mattering after all. It's a win-win situation.
It's Midwest nice.
Absolutely.
I agree.
WTMJ's Elizabeth Linton, and thanks, Liz.
Yeah.
5:15 coming up on it here on WTMJ. I said it would be Brewers heavy this hour, and I mean it. We're going back out to the ballpark. Dom Catronio in-house with a preview. That's next.
The Wisconsin retirement system impacts over 690,000 people, including police, firefighters, teachers, and UW employees. Join Annex Wealth Management and WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for a free webinar. Understand your WRS potential on Tuesday, October 21st at 3:30 p.m. Learn how your WRS pension fits into your financial portfolio and planning. The Annex Financial Planning team is experienced with WRS pensions and holistic financial planning. Register at annexwealth.com/events. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
For your fellow fanatics and your number one fans. For your game day compatriots and your everyday companions. For your personal cheerleaders and your personal heroes. For the reasons you smile, get covered with dental and vision insurance from Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision. Learn more at deltadentalwi.com today.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Want to save big on your next home improvement project? Visit extpros.com today for expert services at unbeatable prices.
Traffic and weather. I know, Debbie, everyone wants to know, if you're heading down 94, what's the damage? Give it to me straight.
Okay, as far as the freeway around the stadium is concerned, it's actually not looking too bad. But unfortunately, 94 eastbound is closed from Highway 164 right at Highway 164 because of a crash. It looks pretty nasty. We got lots of emergency crews on the scene. Got one car off the roadway, another one pretty much smashed in, and then another one a little bit further on. A couple of ambulances are on the scene as well. So obviously we're going to see some big delays, but it looks like it's on the right at Highway 164, so you'll take the off ramp, get back on at the on ramp. If you don't want to deal with that, you can head through Waukesha, the city proper, and head over to Highway 18 and try and get onto that way, try and avoid that area. Southbound on 43, backing up heavily from Good Hope Road all the way down through the Capitol Drive area. You're back on the brakes from North Avenue down through the Marquette to the KK River. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Hey, Deb, real quick, just a reminder for everyone again, we're looking at this on the studio here. This is an absolute mess. There's debris all over the place.
There's a car. Do you see the car down in the ditch?
I do.
There's a car down in the ditch.
3, 4, 5 looks like I'm seeing right now. So remind us
Yeah,
again,
1,
Deb.
2, 3, 4, and then 5, the one down on the bottom. We've got 2 trucks out there. We got 1, 2, 3 ambulances from what I can see. So this is going to be there for a little while they get this thing taken care of. It is a big mess. So it's eastbound 94, closed at Highway 164 because of this crash.
All right, and then what is the exit point again for this one?
It looks like you can, from what they're saying here, is that you'll probably be able to get off at 164 and then get back on. Otherwise, you might need to head down to Blue Mound Road, take that, and get back on at Gerke's Corners. That might be a better way to go, to be honest.
All right, thank you very much, Debbie. We'll keep an eye on this one. Next traffic update coming up in about 12 minutes here on WTMJ. Right now, it's 5:18.
Hello, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. Wish I had
It is Brewers Mania on the 5 o'clock hour here on WTMJ. We head back out to American Family Field, where our X Factor, maybe tonight, is WTMJ's Dominic Cotroneo back in the saddle after a brief respite in LA and Philly. Now, Dom, there's a little bit of lore behind the music we just heard. Please explain.
It was my walk-up song in high school baseball because I'm all bit of 5'7", and that's, kind of a perfect song for a guy that's short.
Well, you bring the fire every single night on Brewers warm-up and Brewers extra innings. We'll hear them tonight from American Family Field. All right, Dom, we had Lane in the 4 o'clock hour. Batting practice was ongoing, and he made mention of just how much media is there for this series. Now, there's a lot of attention. You got one of the biggest payrolls in the sport, bringing the big names with them, and that also means media. Paint the picture for us. What is the busy level on field level at AmFam right now?
Well, I'll tell you what, now that the Brewers are off the field and we saw the, media contingents all do their hits here in the 5 o'clock hour, local news, that sort of thing, they've started to slowly trickle off on the first base side. But now over on the third base side, you got to remember 3 of the biggest Japanese stars in, this side of the ocean are on the Dodgers, in Shohei Ohtani, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, and Roki Sasaki. So there are about 15 different cameras out and just documenting every single move of the Dodgers. That's just of the Japanese media contingent. Then you've got the other standard cameras and long lenses and everything like that. There's easily 45 people from the end of the dugout on the third base side to home plate, all on the warning track right now.
Now, all 3 of us on the show here have all had to deal with jostling for position when you're on assignment somewhere.
You got to sharpen those elbows.
Have to imagine it's pretty nuts.
See, that's where being short comes in handy, where you just kind of sweep through the cracks and it's no big deal. But yes, you find your audiences, you find your chances to get one-on-ones, and there's a little art to that, as you all know. But the vibe is, the baseball universe wants to keep an eye on this series because the best team that money can buy is on the other side, and then, the not-so-average Joes is on the Brewers side.
So to that end, Dom, we're talking with Dominic Cotroneo at American Family Field. You rattled off some of those highlights from Japan on this Dodgers roster. You also have a former Cy Young Award winner in the starter tonight in Blake Snell, who is a major component of these first 4 out of the gate for starting pitching for LA. On the flip side, we're going opener again tonight, and Aaron Ashby had at times a rough NLDS against the Cubs, especially early. How significant is just get out of the first inning against the big bats for the Brewers pitching and work your way through manager Pat Murphy's plan for tonight?
You know, what's amazing is that the Brewers scored first in only two of those games, but yet they scored in the first inning in 4 out of 5. So think about that for a second. That's kind of an oxymoron, if you will. But the Brewers are, pretty used to being able to survive the first inning even when the opponent scores first. And even when I look back, July 8th, you may recall, when Jacob Mizorowski was named to be an All-Star, he had 12 strikeouts against these Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani led off that game with a solo homer. So the way I see it is that the Brewers are trying to neutralize Shohei as much as they can. He really struggled in the DS against lefties. He went 1 for 16 overall in that series. The one hit was against the lefty. It was in Game 2 against the Phillies. But there's this little pocket on the inside corner that the Brewers feel like they can exploit against him because he is the guy that takes all the gravity. He's the black hole, if you will, of this lineup. Because, yes, there's a bunch of stars all up and down this order, but you always know how far away Shohei Ohtani is.
Speaking of that roster, Dom, only 2 moves for the NLCS roster for the Crew. Tobias Myers, the pitcher, added in relief to that roster, and Nick Mears is removed. I think a lot of people were maybe surprised either A, that was the move, or B, that's all that it was. Does it surprise you at all?
No, it doesn't surprise me for a couple of reasons. For one, in a 7-game series, you're going to need length. You're going to need the ability to go multiple innings at some point. Tobias Myers has that ability. Number 2, Nick Mears has been battling a back for the last couple of weeks, and this is, they won't publicly say it's health related, but you want to have a guy that's 100% and ready to go. And quite frankly, for Nick Mears to be the closer for the starter, that would have been his role. The Brewers understand that they're going to be creative in the rest of this series. He wasn't going to be an opener at any point because of all the lefties at the top of this order. So they felt that if Tobias comes into the game, that gives him a chance to get length, and also who's quietly had a really good second half since developing this splitter. So they stick with 14 position players and 12 pitchers. 14 position players because that enables them the opportunity to pinch hit maybe earlier in the game than maybe some folks may be used to in the regular season.
So, Don, we've been asking everyone who's been on and the WTMJ fans to give the X factor for this series since we're heading into the first game of it. We've gotten a lot of different responses. How do you see it?
I see it as, on a position player front, it's got to be Christian Yelich, because I know that sounds like, oh, wow, shocker, he chose the best player. Well, the reason why I said it is because he doesn't have a postseason RBI since the NLCS in 2018, since he hit that leadoff homer in Game 7. So think about that for a second. The Brewers have done all of this with really not a lot of timely production from Christian Yelich, which is pretty impressive to think that they've made it this far. And on a pitching front, the guy that I'm keeping an eye on is Chad Patrick. Is he going to get a start? Is he going to get 3, 4, 5 innings at some point in this series? Because, my goodness, what a performance he did in the DS to make sure that the Brewers could get this far.
All right, I have one random question.
Go for it.
All right. This was your walk-up song. At what point did you understand that Skilo was singing that he had wish he had a 6'4" Impala, or were you under the belief that he wanted a 6'4" father?
No, I understood. Look, I think that when you come up in, I grew up in Arizona, and I don't want to say it was like suburbia, but it was pretty suburban, so we all kind of had a chuckle about, like, come on. By the way, my first car that I drove was a minivan, so it was pretty funny that the 5'7" utility infielder, outfielder is walking up to Skilo with a minivan in the parking lot.
That's amazing. I bet you were the person that got to cart everyone around then.
Swagger wagon, absolutely.
Swagger wagon.
He is the master of swag, Dom Catronio, host of Brewers Warm Up. You got a show coming up here in a half hour to get us all warmed up for the big one tonight. We'll see you in a bit, Dom.
Yep, can't wait. Thanks, y'all.
It's 5:26 on WTMJ. Quickly checking the markets here. Everyone in the green on the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P, all with pretty big gains today. And among them, the NASDAQ up over 2%, hefty gains at 22,694. Financial planning at every level, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. A heads up, if you are heading right now on I-94 in Waukesha County heading towards the Brewers game. There is a big old mess. We got a freeway closure right by Highway 164. Multiple vehicles, one in a ditch, one with severe back-end damage as well, and a lot of debris. You will not be able to get through. We'll get an update from Debbie Laziga here in the traffic center in just a moment.
Did you know, according to research, a majority of people gain their weight back after stopping those expensive weight loss shots? Don't become another statistic. The doctor-developed Milwaukee weight loss program doesn't just help you lose weight, it helps you keep it off for good. We've helped thousands of people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks and maintain the results long-term. No more yo-yo dieting or weight regain. Visit MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scavidi here. After a summer in the maintenance phase, feeling great, looking great. I'm back in reduction mode with the goal to lose 10 more pounds with Milwaukee Weight Loss. That means I'll have lost 50 pounds, yes, 50 pounds since January. The best part, none of the intense workouts, none of the meals, kits, or shakes, no meds, no injections. Many patients see 20 to 30 pounds. I saw 40 plus come off in just a month or two. You can do it. I did it. Book your free consultation today at 262-393-2334 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Networks, streaming services, retail chains, and tech giants are all adding plus to their names. But where did the concept originate? We may be biased, but we think these big wigs found their inspiration for plus at Hasseless Mattress. Hasseless showrooms are employee-free. Give your mattress a try with no pushy sales guy. Plus, our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Plus, unbeatable prices on Tempur-Pedic. Plus, free next-day delivery and setup. Plus, free haul away and disposal of your old mattress. Plus, 60-month interest-free financing on select Tempur-Pedic with approved credit. Plus, a $300 MasterCard gift card with your Tempur-Pedic mattress. Plus, a ruggedly handsome spokesman with a smooth radio voice. Get all this, plus a whole lot more when you shop at Hasseless Mattress. Or maybe we should change our name to Hasseless Plus. Nah. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasseless.com.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield. Open for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery 7 days a week. If you haven't tasted our legendary pizza yet, I'll tell you what our loyal customers will tell you. You're missing out. But it's not only pizza. Great salads, subs, and Italian entrees like our mostaccioli or lasagna are must-tries. Covered with 100% mozzarella cheese and baked to perfection. So if you're not cooking tonight, remember Marty's Pizza, right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield. Or order online at martyspizza.net.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, a weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses and residents. It's sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining me today is Jeff Salazinski, Executive Vice President of Insurance Operations. Jeff, talking about employee benefits today and R&R Insurance, of course, a great benefits program for all of us here at Good Karma Brands. So when it comes to benefits, what are some of the real challenges employers are facing today?
Vince, the buying environment has not been easy for many employers, really driven by cost increases and the rapid innovation in today's specialty prescription drugs and medical treatments. The explosion of GLP-1 drugs and their usage is impacting planned financials. Specialized gene therapies are revolutionizing medicine, but also sending shockwaves through health plan economics and risk management frameworks.
So, Jeff, of course, you know, managing an employee health plan, doing that well takes time, it takes expertise. So how is R&R supporting its clients and keeping them informed on all of these issues you just mentioned?
Sure. We have an elite team of analytics resources that blend their years of experience with technology and innovation when designing plans for our clients. We use strategy and our expert resources to help you control costs and maximize the value of your employee benefits plan. Plus, we provide local management and service and support all over the state.
So what else can R&R Insurance provide that sets you apart?
We help employers brand their benefit package in a customized, easy-to-understand fashion, taking out the complex and confusing nature of shopping for health insurance. Most importantly, we'll manage and provide as much support as you need for your open enrollment and beyond. With our latest mobile technology, your employees will have easy and immediate access to benefits information for themselves and their families 24/7.
Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
5:32 on WTMJ. Let's go right over to WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga. She is monitoring this freeway closure right now on Highway 94, I-94 heading east, right around Highway 164, Deb.
Yep, that's right. Eastbound is closed right now because of this crash. Now, your best bet, to be honest with you, it's backed up all the way back to Meadowbrook. So your best bet would really be to exit at Meadowbrook, head south to Northview Road, take that over to 164 just to take it up to Blue Mound, and then take that east and get back onto the freeway using that to get over to Gerke's Corners. That would be your best bet to try and stay away from this whole area, which is what you want to do anyways, because the delays are nasty. We've got multiple emergency vehicles on the scene, ambulances, fire trucks. It's a pretty nasty accident. It's a car off onto the ditch, off onto the right. So just be extra careful if you're going to be heading through that area. That might be your best bet at this point. Don't use 164 to get back on to the freeway because it's kind of questionable as to where exactly the accident is in that particular interchange. So just take Blue Mound and get back on at Gerke's Corners. That'd be your best bet. Elsewhere, we do have another crash on 894 northbound right at the ramp from National Avenue. That one does have the right lane blocked, but it happened relatively recently, so it's still remains to be seen if there's going to be the delays heading through that area. Again, that's northbound 894 at National. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
Partly cloudy, a low of 53 tonight. More clouds, afternoon showers possible on your Tuesday, a high of 64. And we will check in with Debbie in a little bit for an update on the situation. A rough time right now, especially with everything going on tonight, to be in trouble eastbound.
Yeah, so make sure you subscribe to those detours and allow yourself a lot of extra time at this point, since this is a closure, which means if you are headed eastbound right now, you are definitely going to want to leave earlier rather than later if you're planning on going to the game tonight, or if you have any plans that require you to go toward downtown Milwaukee.
It's 5:34 on WTMJ. Other stories we're following for you this afternoon. New dash camera video just released today of a police shooting that left one person dead on Milwaukee's north side Thursday morning near 49th and Mill.
What are you doing?
The censored audio there of the off-duty officer's dash cam video where you hear the moment of impact and the response. Then the 26-year-old Elijah Wilkes pulls out a gun after surveying the damage in the accident, hits the officer in the face. Officer then fires back, killing Wilkes. After seeing the footage, Wilkes' family did admit late last week the officer's actions were justified.
A woman is dead and her daughter is accused of beating her in the head with a rock. According to the medical examiner, 64-year-old Carrie Zettel died of blunt force trauma. Now, this attack happened Sunday afternoon near 23rd and Ramsey on the city's south side. Police arrested Zettel's 29-year-old daughter. Charges are pending.
Another case of bird flu in Wisconsin, this time in Racine County. That's where the Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection says a backyard chicken flock tested positive for the virus. The birds removed from the area to prevent disease spread. In recent weeks, 2 cases of bird flu had been reported in Jefferson County. Those diagnoses led to the cancellation of poultry-related events in Jefferson, Waukesha, Walworth, and Rock counties through the end of this year.
Another state is attempting to redraw its congressional mapping ahead of next year's midterms.
Republicans in North Carolina say they'll vote next week on a plan to redraw congressional maps in hopes to pick up a GOP seat. Just 2 years ago, they created a map that resulted in their parties winning 10 of the state's 14 U.S. House seats in 2024. Now, only one district in the state, currently represented by Democrat Don Davis, is considered a true swing district and could be targeted for an 11th seat. He won by less than 2 percentage points, so Republicans are hoping to shift some portions of the district to get more votes their way. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Texas, California, and Missouri all passed redistricting plans recently. Now, other states also considering redistricting include Indiana and Kansas.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Less than an hour and a half to go until first pitch at American Family Field. It is the National League Championship Series tonight. Brewers and Dodgers, battle of the lefties. Milwaukee going to go with Aaron Ashby as an opener for tonight, while the Dodgers plan to go with their former Cy Young Award winner, Blake Snell. We've got first pitch set for 7:08 on the dot at American Family Field. Our coverage starts after the 6 o'clock news with Brewers warm-up and Dom Catronio right here on WTMJ. Packers 27-18 winners over the Bengals on Sunday. On the road next weekend, 3:25 kick in Arizona against the Cardinals. And 7th-ranked Wisconsin volleyball with a 3-set win over Maryland. Badgers now 12-2 on the season. Badger Sports Update sponsored by Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 537.
Get new Pella windows for the entire house as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Ready for the snap and a timeout taken. The team looks a little bit lost. Let's bring in Gina Della from Pella. What's the winning game plan this month?
Wayne, the winning play is simple. A whole house of new windows as low as $297 a month with 0% interest for up to 60 months.
Wow, that's a drive you can sustain for years. No penalties, no interest. A championship move from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
No doubt, Wayne. And unlike the opponent's defense, Pella Windows actually stopped the drafts.
The draft picks we gave up for number one had to be the steal of the century.
True, but I'm talking about replacing old drafty windows.
Roger that. With energy-efficient windows that keep the cold out, you'll stay as toasty as a fan at a warm weather preseason game.
Pay as low as $297 a month for a whole house of new Pella windows.
Plus, with 0% interest for up to 60 months, don't sit on the sidelines, folks. Make your move today.
Schedule your free consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Service versus supply, 10/31/2025. Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
5:38 on Wisconsin's afternoon news. Hey, just a heads up, we are following this freeway closure right now still. 94 East, right by Highway 164, is closed. Many vehicles involved with this. We also understand, Toya, that I-43 right now, south from about Good Hope down towards Capitol, is a parking lot right now. A lot of people heading into the city. Big night tonight. So just be mindful, plan your route accordingly, and we're following it closely.
And what we see on I-94 when we're looking at the 511 Wisconsin cameras, you can see that the ambulances that were there have left, but it is still closed down. There are still what appears to be 4 vehicles that are involved. This is going to take some time to clean up. Again, if you are headed eastbound, leave earlier rather than later.
We'll get a check from Debbie here in just a moment. Also important on this Brewers game Monday is your tailgate forecast if you are headed down to the ballpark. We got you covered. Storm Team 4's Michael Fish in the house. And Fish, before we get into the forecast, I'd be remiss. I did not miss the fact that Isaac picked out a particular song for you to walk you up here tonight.
I heard that. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like one of my favorite songs. Believe it or not, one of my favorite bands is Fish. I know my last name is Fish. That's just a coincidence. I just think they're very fun. So thanks for playing that. That's a great start, especially with all that traffic news you guys are following.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, go ahead.
I was looking at a video from AmFam right now, and it looks like the back panels are open. I don't know if you guys have been following. So there's actually a little fresh air getting in there.
Well, that's good because you know as well as anyone that on these nights where it's like one of those, like it's low mid 60s, it's not cool, but it's not warm. It can get into kind of a sauna in AmFam when they have the whole thing shut up.
It sure can.
Yeah, it can. So a little fresh, cool air getting in there. And it's not that cool out. It's 61 degrees currently. There's not much of a breeze. Yeah, it can get a little humid. You got all those people in there.
So, Fish, I have to interrupt really quickly. So I'm monitoring some of the cameras because I want to check in on that area as well as the freeway closure we're monitoring. And the DOT right now is honing in on all of the tailgaters, getting, I believe, I don't know if it's a white balance or whatever, but they're honed in. The camera off Highway 175 is just checking all the tailgaters as they're sitting in the parking lots.
Well, even at the DOT, they've got to get excited for the game as well.
Oh, man, this guy's got a fistful of brat, and then they just switched off that camera. Probably smart to do that.
They have a lot to track tonight. A lot to track. Okay, the tailgate forecast still is looking just fine. We've got low 60s. There might be a few drizzle drops. I'm already watching a little clearing towards like the West Bend area. So that's going to be our kind of the trend as we head through the night. Gradually, we start to break up those clouds. Then we go down to a low of 54 degrees. For your Tuesday, a little breezy out there, but we're going to bring that sun back in 64. Wednesday, okay, actually, remember, there's a game tomorrow evening, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the tailgate starts off dry, a little on the cool side, a little brisk in the 50s. By the end of the game, there might be a couple rain showers out there. So just be aware of that. And we could start off Wednesday with a couple morning showers, otherwise partly cloudy, 61. Chance of showers late on Thursday night, 67. May make it into the 70s, 72 on Friday. Good chance of rain and maybe 70 by Saturday. So overall, you know what, Toya, you know also what October weather can bring.
Oh,
and if this
my
is baseball weather, this is glorious.
This is glorious. I will tell you, I was just having this conversation with another fellow parent, and we were talking about, and I couldn't tell you how many years ago it was, but I could tell you that watching kids walk through like almost a foot of snow on Halloween.
Yep, I remember that.
You
Halloween.
remember that?
Yeah,
That was terrible, terrible. Ugh.
Yeah, so I'll take 61 with some clouds and a wind.
Yes, all day, every day.
Hey, really quick, Mike, unrelated to Brewers or any of that, but I asked your colleague, Brian Niznansky, a few weeks ago. So recently I've started this practice to kind of get myself going in the morning, get waked up, because I used to be on the morning shift. So I'm used to waking up and it's 4 a.m. and it's dark out. Well, now I'm on a later shift, so I have a chance before I start my day to get some activity and get some physical activity. And I've taken to going for a swim in Lake Michigan recently to start my day.
What?
And I know it's brisk, and I like just getting that pump going because I'll start doing my front stroke and my breaststroke, and then the cold water feels fantastic. I ask because as we now start to get into mid-October, I know the clock is ticking on when any reasonably sane person will go into the water. How long do I have here, Mike?
You're lucky that it's been so warm here to start October. Our water temperature is around 62 degrees, which is kind of above where it should be at this time of year because it's been so warm. So, first of all, I don't know if I'd call you reasonably sane for going for a
You would not be
dip
alone in that.
But, I mean, we are coming to the end. I don't know. Are you like one of the only people swimming in Lake Michigan?
I would be the only person, in fact, swimming in Lake Michigan. I will say the day, I believe it was game 1 of the NLDS on Saturday when it was like 90 degrees, far from the only person for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry, but your days are numbered.
That's fine. That's fine. I start a new habit, and then Mother Nature's like, oh, back to the couch for you, I guess.
I have Sunday, this upcoming Sunday at 60 degrees, and then after that, it's October. Who knows what'll happen?
All right. Storm Team 4's Michael Fish. Thanks for hopping on. Go Brewers, and we'll talk to you soon.
Go Brewers. See you, crew.
544 on WTMJ. We are going to get an update on this full freeway closure, 94 East at 164 in Waukesha County. Deb gets an update for us next.
Time to get your furnace ready to work this winter. Vince Vitrano here with my HVAC guy, Ryan Sopa at Urban Heating and Cooling. Ryan, you're doing furnace tune-ups now.
Correct. We're starting to do furnace maintenance, making sure your furnace is ready for the upcoming cold weather.
You do all that for less than $100. You can save big, though, if you spend that money up front, right? Make sure this thing is good.
Correct. I mean, if we come in there and do a maintenance on your furnace, so it can help prevent major breakdowns for the next season.
Thanks, Ryan. Contact them now at urbanheatingandcooling.com. urbanheatingandcooling.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 10.23 to 11.5 ounce selected varieties Mars Fun Size Candy, $4.49. 8.1 to 11.5 ounce selected varieties Bear Creek Soup Mix, $3.49. 128 ounce pale selected varieties Blue Ribbon Frozen Dairy Dessert, $5.99. 64 ounce selected varieties Sunny D Citrus Drinks, 2 for $3.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, wow, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against Chicago on December 7th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
Enter by November 12th.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. I feel better than I ever have thanks to Connect Chiropractic. Got a little bit of a shoulder issue. The shoulder issue has gotten better. I carry my stress in my upper back. It's gone. It's Connect Chiropractic. I go every single week, and it's a long-term care focus at Connect, making you feel better so you can do the things that you want to do every single day. Play with the grandkids, play that pickleball, get out on the golf course. New location in Oak Creek, joining the existing locations in Tosa and Delafield. Go where I go. Connect Chiropractic.
Enjoy life at Capri Communities, where senior living's our expertise. Caring staff that help you when you need. Enjoy life at Capri, making friends and memories. Living life to the fullest, you will love your new home. Enjoy life at Capri Communities.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment, flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
Traffic and weather, then we head overseas for an update on the Israel-Hamas ceasefire with CBS's Robert Berger. But first, want to get over to Debbie Loziga as we still have this freeway closure, 94 East Highway 164. What's the latest, Debbie?
Yeah, it is still closed at Highway 164. Pretty nasty accident. Looks like there's at least one car off in the ditch. A couple of other cars are pretty smashed in and debris pretty much everywhere. So you're technically going to be diverted off at Highway 164, or from what I can see. It's kind of hard to tell. Your best bet, honestly, would be to exit at Meadowbrook Road. Take that south to Northview and follow that. You can either get back on Grandview Boulevard to get to Silvernail and follow that, Highway TJ, over to Blue Mound Road, or just continue on Northview Road over to Pewaukee Road and then take that up to Highway JJ or Blue Mound Road. You can get back onto the freeway at Gerke's Corners. Redford Boulevard or Highway F, I would probably stay away from that area as well, because it looks like that whole area might still be closed off as well. So that's the biggest problem. Of course, we've got everybody slowing down to take a look at what's going on the other side. So westbound starting to slow down quite a bit from before Springdale Road all the way to the accident scene. We do have an incident on 94 eastbound at Moreland Road. That's off on the left shoulder, though, so I think you should be able to get past it without too much of an issue. The bypass accident around National has been cleared out of the way, but we do still have delays. Eastbound 94 continuing from before 84th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Westbound's clear. You're good to go to get into to AmFam Field. Southbound 43, that's a different story. It is solid from just south of Brown Deer Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. Southbound 41, heavy from the county line to Good Hope and Appleton down to Capitol Drive. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Time Saver Traffic.
All right, thank you, Debbie. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast for your game day evening. Going to be in the low 60s. You heard Storm Team 4's Michael Fish mention the panels are open, so we will get some fresh air, but that air could be a little bit stagnant. 61 right now. We're going to get down to 54 tonight. Low to mid 60s then for your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Some scattered chances for rain, and then by the end of the week, we're back close to 70 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Again, 61 and clouds in Milwaukee here at 550.
Together we've achieved what everybody said was impossible. At long last, we have peace in the Middle East, and it's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there.
President Donald Trump earlier today calling for a new era of harmony in the Middle East, speaking at a global summit in Egypt on the future of Gaza amidst the first few phases of a ceasefire between Gaza and Israel. Hamas, as part of the first phase, releasing all 20 remaining Israeli hostages. Israel following with the release of nearly 2,000 prisoners. The president now heading back to Washington after signing the ceasefire plan with world leaders at his side in Egypt. We're going to explore how significant this is in the context of history for the region and what gives this deal more weight than previous attempts at a ceasefire between the two sides. For more, we welcome in CBS's Robert Berger, who joins us from Jerusalem today. Robert, thanks so much for taking some time.
Sure, good to be with you.
So let's begin with the historical significance, because you had mentioned to me before you hopped on here that things got started very early today. Obviously, there's still a lot in motion. You've been covering this region for several decades and have seen so much happen over the years. Give us a greater understanding of just how significant historically what happened today was.
This is one of the biggest days, really, I've covered now in 40 years or so. I mean, this war, of course, was the most devastating that we've seen. 2 years it went on, and then the whole issue of the hostages. 2 years ago, according to the Jewish calendar, 2 years ago today exactly, the 3,000 or 4,000 Hamas terrorists stormed across the border and took people hostage, 251 hostage, and there have been gradual releases now over the years, but finally you got the 20 living hostages, the last living hostages out of Gaza. So really a lot of elation here in Israel today to see that. Now there are still 28 or 24 bodies or so left in Gaza that the families are hoping will come back. But it's certainly a significant day. And then President Trump's visit here and also to Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, just a day full of news and hope.
You mentioned that hope. You're in Jerusalem, one of the epicenters of everything that happens in the Middle East. What are you seeing and hearing from folks just out on the street? Is there a sense of jubilation, or is it more cautious optimism?
I think a little bit of both. Certainly today, jubilation, because the hostage issue has overshadowed this country for the past 2 years. I mean, every Israeli really feeling the weight of those hostages there. Every news show, radio, TV, always interviewing families of the hostages. So to have them come back was really, we saw big celebrations out in hostage where everybody's relieved about that. Now, having said that, President Trump, we heard him say in your soundbite that, peace is here. Look, there's a ceasefire, but we're a long way from peace. But at least it looks like this phase of this endless war is finally over.
CBS's Robert Berger with us from Jerusalem on a historic day in the Middle East. And on that point, Robert, we've seen other attempts at ending or at least pausing this conflict in the past. They oftentimes would not last very long or would be rescinded. With this deal specifically, what is the likelihood in your eyes as someone who's covered this that this is the one that ultimately sticks?
Well, there's a lot of work to be done. I know there's a lot of euphoria, a lot of goodwill by Europe and the Muslim states who want to see the region move on, as we saw in this summit in Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, with President Trump and who he was able to gather there, the Arab states, Europe, everyone now trying to get on board and rebuild Gaza. Now, the big obstacle is, first of all, who's going to rule Gaza? Israel is partially pulled out. Hamas is still around. There are still tunnels. Demilitarizing Gaza is going to be a very difficult task, and how it's going to be done remains to be seen.
We also know that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was invited but was not at the summit because of the holiday. What role is he going to specifically play in making sure everything comes to fruition? Because he wasn't here today, but obviously has been undeniably linked with all of this, both this conflict and others in the past.
Well, for Netanyahu, he says that Gaza and Hamas can no longer pose a threat. Now, in the future, that's the goal, and that's going to be the next difficult step, because how is Hamas going to be disarmed? I mean, that's part of the 20-point plan. how are they going to dismantle, let's say, the tunnel network? Now, we have 200 American troops here in Israel, not boots on the ground, they're not in Gaza, but overseeing this transition of security in Gaza. There's supposed to be an international force, but, it hasn't been formed yet. They're supposed to see, maybe Egyptian and United Arab Emirates and various states are going to contribute to this force, but it probably will take months to form that force. And there is a power vacuum, and, Hamas still has, they have a lot of guns, and, we've seen them maybe executing, we've seen a few videos of them executing people on the streets. It's a little bit like ISIS. So it's going to be a challenge to see how they are disarmed. But Netanyahu says that has to happen.
CBS's Robert Berger with us from Jerusalem on a historic day for the Middle East. Robert, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Coming up on 6 o'clock here on Wisconsin's Afternoon News, before we get into the top of the hour, I want to remind you again of this freeway closure, 94 East at Highway 164. All lanes are still closed. There's been a little bit of movement on this. Some of the fire trucks that were blocking some of those lanes have moved out of the way, but we still have multiple cars in the far right lanes and one car in a ditch for that matter, and a lot of road debris still. So you are going to encounter the closure as you head towards Highway 164. I would make a note, as Debbie mentioned earlier, head to Blue Mound Road, go south, and you can get back on the freeway at Gerke's Corners. And then from there, you are pretty free and clear. It does look like we now have an incident on 94 East at Moreland that's causing a little bit of a delay. And then you've got your usual ballpark traffic as you head towards American Family Field east of the zoo. But again, a reminder that freeway closure, 94 East, right at Highway 164, recommended to get off the freeway, Blue Mound Road, and then get back on I-94 at Gerke's Corners. 5:58 on WTMJ. Top of the hour news is next.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a good karma brand station.
Skylight Music Theater is Milwaukee's home for music theater, presenting a full season of classic and contemporary works to engage and inspire audience.